Mighty, now's your opportunity to present the winning globe argument.
What? What are you talking about, dude?
Yeah,
Well, let's just let him get his thing out. So we know
I want to hear what he's just. I just want him to get it out so he can get it out to the audience and everybody can hear
if the surface is flat like you observe it to be, then what?
Are you gonna let me finish my sentence this time, or are you gonna keep?
Well, you're talking, dude. So just
well, let's do this. Let's do this. I'll try to get my point across one more time, and if you mute me again, then there's no point continuing. I'll just laugh in silence and
you'll keep coming back, dude. It's not. You're gonna keep coming back, so just keep.
I keep coming back because I like seeing people clown you idiots. It's funny, and that's why I come back.
Is that what's happening right now? You being unable to present an argument?
Well, you keep muting. It's really hard to get a point across, and you do.
Yeah, we've given you like 100 chances now. Just get the argument out.
Okay, watch how you're gonna mute me. Okay, watch this. I'm gonna call you guys muting me in a second. Okay, so when you're standing on a surface of the Earth, right, and you're looking at the sun disappearing into the horizon, and it's going down and down and down, setting off of the horizon. So you know it's going off the horizon because you see it disappearing below the horizon, right? It's not getting further away in distance. It's changing the shape. It's going down. Okay, so then it disappears completely, and it's getting dark, and you don't see the sun anymore. But if you go on a tower that's standing right next to you, and you go up, 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 up in elevation, suddenly the sun comes back into vision. How is that possible on a flat surface?
Okay, well, what are you claiming is the cause of this?
Earth curvature, obviously.
Okay, can you substantiate that?
Yeah, because on a flat surface, when something's disappearing across the horizon, you can't see it if you go higher in elevation. But on a curved surface, it's disappearing behind the curve, and that's why you can't see it. You go up in elevation, and you can suddenly see it.
Well, that's just a declaration from you. Could I actually see some justification of this curved surface that you're claiming is there?
Why does it need justification? It's pure logic.
Well, because you say it's there. Okay, so how much is there? Let's say over 10 miles.
Well, it doesn't matter. The distance doesn't matter.
Yeah. No, it does matter because you're saying the curvature is there. So how much is there? Over 10 miles, let's say.
Why does it matter?
Because we want to make you stake a claim so that you can then justify this claim.
You're trying to get into semantics because you're losing.
Is there a specific curvature, or is it just a vague curvature?
Can you stick to the logic? It doesn't matter.
Yeah. You've said the cause of this phenomena that you're claiming is curvature of the Earth.
Correct.
So now you need to substantiate that there is indeed a curvature of the Earth to be the cause of your phenomena.
I just gave you one.
We're going to get into the specifics of your claim. So is it a specific rate of curvature?
My question, right? Is that?
Well, no, it's because we're seeing if you've got any justification for this argument. So is it a specific rate of curvature? What's the rate of curvature that you're claiming?
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
No, it does, because you need to justify that this rate exists. So it does matter. This is your argument, dude.
It doesn't matter.
Are you unaware that this is your argument? You've just said that the cause that you just claimed is this curvature, and now you're saying the curvature isn't important.
Yeah, it's not important. The distance to the curvature is not important.
So your entire argument is not important.
Why?
Because your argument is, I see the sun do this because of Earth curvature. Okay, let's discuss that Earth curvature. No, that's not important.
No, I said the distance to the curvature is not important.
Yeah, the specifics of the curvature, that's important, because that's what you're claiming.
Specifics of the curvature. It's the specifics.
Yeah, it is the specifics of the curvature. So how much curvature is there over 10 miles? What's your rate of curvature?
You're trying to get Gallup to this other subject because you can't answer this
other subject? This is the cause. Yeah. This is the cause you're claiming.
No, you're trying. I asked you a clear question. Very simple logic.
Okay, so you don't want to talk about curvature. You want to take curvature off the table. Is that right?
About curvature. You're gonna have to explain what I just
explained. What rate of curvature and where's this been measured or detected? Well, it does. Has it ever been detected?
You're trying to divert because you can't answer the question.
It's not a diversion. It's an examination. It's an examination of your argument. It's not a diversion. I'm directly addressing your claimed cause, curvature.
Again, you can pretend the distance is whatever you want. I don't care. I'm fine with whatever.
Pretend the distance. Does it not have a specific rate of curvature?
It doesn't matter for the example.
No. Does it or does it not? Is there a specific rate of curvature? Is there a rate of curvature that we can understand and know what the claim is or not?
We can discuss that after you answer my question.
Well, I'm challenging your assumption that the cause of the phenomena you're seeing is this curvature. That's your entire argument.
What other cause?
So if you can't justify the cause, well, what other causes have you considered other than this curvature that you can't even describe?
Well, what other things that I've considered?
Yeah, what have you considered?
I've never considered anything besides it being a
You never bothered to consider anything else other than this curvature that you don't know the details of.
Well, I know the details of it, but it's irrelevant for the question.
Okay, so what are the details of it?
Well,
What's
why
the
are you
rate?
trying to stick into semantics when it's
Because we want to know if it's true. We want to know if it's true.
Well, okay, so first explain to me how this works on
No. We want to know if the curvature claim that you're making is true. Therefore, you have to tell us what this rate of curvature you're claiming is.
Because I understand what the game here is. You're trying to get
it's a game, so you can't substantiate. Well, is there a number, or is there not a number?
And then when I give you the number, you're just going to jump to a completely different.
Then when we give you, okay,
what these oil rigs? They're this and this distance away, and they're not disappearing.
What are you saying? Are you saying the observations don't match? Are you saying the observations don't match the number that you'd give us?
No, that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying you're going to try and take it to a completely different direction from.
So do the observations match the numbers?
Well, they do, yes. If you
so that oil rig example, that you gave us,
you jump
yeah, the one you just brought up.
It's funny.
The one you just brought up.
Yeah. So
does that number match the observation?
Yes,
the curvature.
The reason why you can see the oil rig is
because it does.
Yes, it does.
So where does it say the geometric horizon should be again for a 1-foot observer?
Again, you're trying to get into semantics again and talk about
No. This is the number. This is the number that you mentioned.
The reason I gave you the example I gave you.
See how he's wriggling away.
Because it doesn't matter.
See how you're running away from now whether it matches.
You're already posting the shit on side chat.
So the observations don't match the number that you're claiming, and that's why you don't want to talk about it. That's why it's irrelevant.
You're not taking refraction into account, and thank you for proving
refraction.
Yes.
What do you mean? Why are you saying refraction?
Because you're showing me a picture of an oil rig, which is clearly, you haven't calculated.
You said the numbers match the model. So why are you now saying refraction?
Because you have to take into account things like refraction. These are atmospherical things you have to take into account when you're calculating distance and looking at an observation from a distance. But I don't want to get bogged into that. It's not.
And that matches what model?
It's because the calculation to the horizon.
So what model did you use for the oil rig example to say that it matches?
You see how you jump into the oil rigs every time when I give you this example because
you brought up the oil rigs.
No,
you brought up the oil rigs.
The oil rigs because that's what you like talking about.
Yeah, you brought up the oil rigs.
I gave
so you dug your own grave. You made your own little.
Any math. You don't have to do any math at all.
You dug your own little punji stick hole to fall into.
Anything. You can use whatever numbers you want. It's not going to.
Whatever numbers you want because it's not real. It's just fantasy. So we can just make up any bullshit numbers we want. That's how you think. That's why you're arguing for the globe.
Can't do
you can't get into the specifics. You can't say the specifics of your globe because you're terrified of them because you already know the oil rig observation alone doesn't match that number.
Okay.
That's why you're spazzing out.
Yeah, I'm spazzing
out. So a 1-foot observer should see a geometric horizon where?
Yeah, we're not going to play this game. You're not
going to play this game. You can't say it. You can't address your own belief. You're terrified of it.
And I'll answer your question. Okay, how about that?
No, you're dishonest.
No,
you're emotional. You're too emotional. You can't discuss it. You just made an argument based on curvature.
You're evading the question and asking.
You just made an argument based on curvature.
I'm the one who's.
Yeah. You're coping. Because you just made an argument about curvature, and I asked you to talk about it, and you tried to run away immediately.
That's exactly what happened, right, Psyclone?
Yeah, you can't tell us what the rate of curvature is supposed to be. You say it can be any number. It doesn't matter, because you don't care about the truth.
I gave you
don't care about reality.
Any number. The reason why I gave you that example is because numbers are irrelevant.
It's because you know the globe model doesn't match reality. That's why you don't want to adhere to it.
Yours doesn't match reality either, just as I just explained, right?
You already know that no one's ever observed or measured or detected any curvature ever.
It doesn't match this example either.
And this is why you have to keep talking through me, coping, just being
you're not
a little nerd.
Okay, I'll wait here in side chat until you have an answer for me. Thank you.
I bet it upsets you that you only experience a flat, motionless Earth.
Yeah, it really, really aggravates me. When I drive to work every day, I'm like, fuck, why is the Earth flat?
I know you try to convince yourself. Why is that horizon so flat? You're lying to me, horizon. Why does this ground not seem like it's spinning?
Guilty as charged. You're totally onto me.
Yeah, they've made you delusional, and you're desperate for it.
Who's they?
There's nothing more sad to see. You're desperate to believe.
Who's they?
You're desperate to believe.
You're not even going to say
the little talking heads on TV. Whoever bought you into this delusion that you're now defending shamelessly.
Who is it? NASA?
Who is it?
The government?
NASA.
Your teachers, your mom.
Is that who you believe? Is it NASA?
Everyone's just lying to me.
From your perspective, though.
No, they're just wrong. Listen, you're gullible.
From your perspective, though, the Earth is flat and motionless, right?
You're trying to divert the argument again.
Oh, you can't answer the question that you experience.
I can answer your question. Yeah, of course I can. If you can answer mine.
Okay,
yeah,
so what is it? You do experience the Earth from your perspective as flat and motionless? That's right, right?
Yeah. So when you're
too big to see the curve. So you can't do it. So you can't do it.
Sunset, and then it goes beyond the horizon. Yeah, that.
Yeah, you see the flat motionless Earth.
Hey, Wolfgang, let me ask him a question. What's the horizon on the flat Earth?
Where's the container, by the way?
Okay, what's the horizon on the flat Earth? Look, you said if the sun sets on a flat Earth, when you go higher, the horizon wouldn't extend, right?
I never said horizon wouldn't extend. By the way, we had this discussion like multiple times already, Indio. You always butt in and try to...
Yeah, okay, your meta doesn't... I don't care. I don't care.
He's upset. He's upset.
So you call Indio your priest to like,
okay, no one's a priest.
Owning us the facts, please come and help us. And
that's projection. That's projection, my friend.
Speaking of priest, man, you need to exercise.
I don't have anyone talking for me. Do you see anyone talking for me?
Yeah.
You said the sun. No, I wanted to talk. I've been waiting for a while. I wanted to say something about your original thing that you said can't be addressed.
Well, I'll finish.
I'm going to address it,
Cyclone, and then you can continue.
Sorry, Indio. I've already got him triggered, so he's going to be incomprehensible and manic for the next 40 minutes at least.
Yeah. I just want the statement about the horizon. You said when you go up, you wouldn't be able to see the sunset again. Why is that?
Did I say you wouldn't be able to see the sunset again?
Well, why don't you repeat to us what you said in the beginning?
Well, are you going to take Psycho's place in? Or are you going to tag him out?
Just repeat it to us, dude. Or did you forget already?
I just want to know who I'm debating. You know?
I'm on your side, Mighty. You're embarrassing us. Stop.
Dude, we just really want the fucking your original thing, the thing you said he's not answering. We want that.
Okay. You want that?
Yeah.
So that's you, Indio. Okay. So Cyclone's out of the debate. Let's continue with Indio then.
So dude, fuck your meta, dude. I'm gonna just mute you. Continue.
He's so triggered. He's so triggered.
I'm not gonna allow this, dude. I'm telling you right now. You're fucking every third sentence, some meta commentary on the conversation is fucking boring. We don't need a play-by-play, Howard Cosell.
Okay, so what I said is you go higher in elevation, and then you can see the sun pull back into vision after it already set on the flat plane.
Okay.
Flat being the surface, not a flat surface. Okay.
And that what creates the horizon on a flat Earth?
What creates the horizon?
Yeah, what is the horizon on a flat Earth?
You already asked me this last time. You're going in circles.
Well, I'm asking you again because that's the thing. You said when you go higher, you can see the sun again. That wouldn't happen on a flat Earth?
What? No, because if it's setting behind the horizon...
so that would mean the horizon would be in a fixed position, and when you go higher, it didn't move.
Yes, correct. If you go higher, the horizon wouldn't move.
Where is the horizon then on this fixed position? Where is it fixed at? Is it the edge of the Earth?
It doesn't matter. You can picture it.
It does matter. It does matter. Where is the horizon? The edge of the Earth?
Again,
we want to determine on whether what would happen on a flat surface. If we want to determine whether it would happen on a flat surface or not, we need to know where the horizon is.
Where's the edge of the Earth? You said the edge of the Earth. Where's that?
I'm asking you if that's where you think the horizon is.
Why would I think there's an edge to the Earth if I think it's a sphere?
It's so funny. This is this guy's NPC loop.
Your hypothetical flat Earth that you made up in your head that the sun can't set the way it does on a globe, right? That hypothetical flat Earth you made up in your head. Where is the horizon on that flat Earth that you made up in your head? Because you're making a prediction.
Again, I already told you. Like the horizon.
No, you didn't, dude. You're making a prediction about the what a flat Earth would entail. You're making a prediction, and you won't tell us how you got to that prediction.
Okay, so the horizon is whatever apparent line you have where the sky and this Earth's surface appear to meet. What
determines that?
What do you mean? What determines that? It's what your eyes see. It doesn't matter. You can.
It does matter because because you said that X wouldn't happen on a flat Earth, and we're talking about the horizon cutting off the sun. So we need to know where the horizon would appear to be at different elevations.
God. Okay, let me explain this again. The horizon does not change if you go higher in elevation. Okay, the horizon is still the horizon. What I'm trying to tell you is, if you have a flat Earth like a table, and you take a popsicle stick and you stick a picture of a sun on it, and you take it next to the table and you start making it sink down and down and down, and you're looking at the sun set behind the table. If you go higher up the table, you're not going to see the sun suddenly pop into view. That only happens. No, you won't. If it goes behind the table and you go higher.
No, listen, bro. If you go higher, your angle is going to change.
No. If it
you're
goes
going to increase the
behind the table.
So why are you interrupting? Behind the table? What are you talking about? Sun doesn't go behind the Earth.
Below the table, below.
The sun doesn't go below the table.
How do you know?
How do I know? Because there's no evidence it does.
Okay, you see a circle, a really big yellow-red circle, going down. Right? It's cutting off the edge of the circle. The shape is changing. You see it going down and down.
What's cutting it off?
The horizon.
Okay, what's that?
Oh my God, you're bogging it down to this thing where
it's either the edge of the Earth or it's some fucking optical effect, dude.
Again,
so it's either some apparent
edge of the Earth on a sphere. That doesn't make any sense. What you're saying.
The whole sphere is the edge of the Earth, dude. Every point on the surface of the sphere is the fucking edge, dude.
On a flat Earth, that would make sense. There's an edge because it can fall.
No, there's an edge on a sphere, dude.
Okay.
Edge means furthest from the center.
Okay.
The entire surface is the edge.
Okay. So if the entire surface is the edge, then why are you explaining the horizon?
So the thing that blocks the sun, that cuts the sun in half, that's the horizon, right? That's where the land is. That's where the Earth is. And past that point, the Earth is going down, curving away, right?
The Earth is going down, curving away?
Yeah, curving away, dude. That's the apex of the curve that you're looking at.
No, the sun is...
The horizon is not the apex of the curve that you can see.
The horizon is not the apex of the curve? What does that
I'm asking.
mean? What do you...
The tangent point.
Dude, are you confused, bro?
I'm not confused. You're just...
No, you're just not listening. I bet you if I asked you to repeat back to me anything I fucking said, you wouldn't be able to.
Just want to ask, why is it that every single time I join, you guys are like super riled up and acting like dicks?
Hey, how come every
everybody?
time you join, you do meta commentary that no one cares about? Okay, really simple. The horizon, that thing that cuts the sun in half, either it's the Earth or it's not the Earth.
Well,
which one is it?
Do you mean physically or like line of sight? It's not physically cutting the sun, if that's what you're asking.
It's cutting your line of sight to the sun, right? Physically.
Correct. Yes. Yes.
Okay. So if I go out one day and 1 mile away, that horizon cuts the sun in half, and then the next day the horizon's 10 miles away and cuts the sun in half, did the Earth change size?
The horizon the horizon wouldn't change.
It changes all the time. What are you talking about?
The distance to the horizon would not change.
It changes all the time.
If you're standing stationary?
Yes.
Why would the distance to the horizon change if you're standing stationary?
Because the horizon is not the edge of a fucking ball.
Oh, but it is.
Oh, but it's not. Because the horizon moves around.
The horizon moves around.
That's right. Where the distance the horizon appears to be moves. You can look in the chat. No Tanks just posted something, right? That's the horizon. See it moving around?
Your claim is the horizon moves around.
It's not my claim. It's what's observed in reality.
No, what you're observing in reality is atmospheric refraction and other.
Okay. How do you know that?
Because. Okay, explain to me how the horizon is moving around.
That's not an answer to my question.
Because my contention is horizon doesn't move around. You're always at the same distance to the horizon on a sphere, at least. I don't know how it works on your flat plane.
Okay.
Can you explain on your flat plane how the horizon would appear at least to be moving around? How does that happen?
Because the horizon is created by the meteorological conditions of the day. It's not created by the edge or the freaking curvature of the Earth.
So you're saying basically that every
and we know this from experiment.
So you're saying your claim is you're going to see.
It's not a claim.
It's a claim. It's definitely a claim.
It's demonstrable. It's not a claim. Okay. The oil rigs you didn't want to talk about. The horizon's 10 miles too far.
you can't even answer this question because you'd have to assume where the sun is and what the distance is and what the size is, and you can't even tell me that.
What are you talking about?
What I'm talking about is, in order to claim that you know the sun is disappearing behind a certain horizon, you would have to know the distance, the size, and the direction it's moving to. And none of you ever claim you know the size, the distance, and where the motion of the sun is moving to.
Okay. Totally incoherent. Just exactly the same thing you did with me. Anyway, funny chat, guys. I'm gonna hold on, dude.
Run.
Chill out, mate.
Chill out. You got destroyed. You can go.
I'm gonna. Yeah, dude. It doesn't surprise me that you're that delusional. But yeah, I am going to be taken off, so I'm going to go on listen mode. But continue spiraling, Mighty, because it is entertaining. You're having a total meltdown. Yeah, good chat, good stuff, Indio.
Yeah, good to hear you.
I'm getting destroyed by this guy, so I'm going to run away now. That's nice coping, dude.
Yeah,
so your delusion is noted.
So Mighty, it's really simple. You think the sun's getting blocked by the fucking curvature of the Earth?
Yeah.
Okay. And if the horizon moves around, that's impossible. And if the horizon moves around, that's impossible.
If the horizon, okay, you have to assert that the horizon is indeed running around, changing positions every day.
We know it is because we have fucking hundreds of videos of this.
You have videos of this. I have videos.
Hundreds, dude.
Wait. I have videos of space, and you're not willing to accept that as a
but we can't verify any of that. You can go to the exact same fucking spot where all these videos were taken and take them yourself. You don't have videos of space, by the way. You don't. You have zero videos of space. Someone else has videos of space. Someone else claims they have videos of space, and you are trying to piggyback on what their claim. Okay?
Go to YouTube. You'll see plenty pictures of space. Plenty pictures, videos.
Cool. I can go on YouTube and see pictures of fucking Mordor, Middle Earth, fucking Jack and the Beanstalk, fucking Yeti, Superman, Loch Ness Monster, elves, ghosts, aliens, fucking on and on and on, Santa Claus.
Flat Earths, dancing, moving horizons. Yeah, all that shit.
No, bro. No. I filmed this myself, dude. Why don't you go to the... Hey, bro, do this. Actually go to the fucking beach. Maybe you should actually go do an experiment. Do a test yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, heaven forbid. Heaven forbid you checked anything.
The problem is you're engaging these experiments with flat Earth goggles. You're not.
What does that even mean?
It means you're biased about your checking. You're trying to prove an already asserted agenda. Like, you're trying to prove the Earth is flat, already assuming it's flat. So then you do all these miscalculations and all these...
Okay, you evaluated what I was doing with your fucking globetard goggles. How do you know what the fuck I'm doing when I go make an observation?
And then you're like, oh, look, it matches my observation.
Okay, how... No, dude, wrong. How do you know what the fuck I'm doing when I go out?
Because I've multiple times, like, you presented your quote-unquote evidence here in this chat room, not you specifically, but flat Earth retards, and they always show the same experiments that are done wrong. So why would I assume...
Such as what? Can you name one?
Yeah, the fucking flashlight experiment that they did, the lasers experiment.
The flashlight experiment. Which one is that?
The notorious one they did over the lake, and they self-owned themselves and showed that the Earth is indeed a fucking globe. That one.
Dude, first of all, it wasn't on a fucking lake. It was on fucking land next to a canal, done with a flashlight. You are a fucking dunce, dude. It wasn't done on a lake. It wasn't even done near water.
Of course it was. You want me to show you?
It was done on land, you dumb fuck.
Okay, let me show you the experiment then, and you tell me if it's on a lake or on a surface. You'll tell me.
Are you talking about Jeranism?
I don't remember their names.
Netflix. TikTok.
Yeah. Netflix.
There was no water, bro. They did it next to a canal, but they did it on the land. There was a road next to the canal. They did it on the land because the canal had a freaking steep ass side. If they would have tried to go down into the canal, they never would have got out. You know, there was like 100 people there.
Let me find you the experiment. 1 second.
It wasn't an experiment. Doesn't say it actually demonstrated a flat Earth, but you're too dumb to know that. They would have had to be 18 feet tall to lift the light over the curve of the Earth. You know that, right, Mighty?
I know that. You don't. That's why you.
So they would have to be 18 feet tall. Do you think they're 18 feet tall?
Well, why would they even do this experiment if they don't know how to do it in the first place?
Okay, who's they?
Your people, the flat Earth.
They aren't my people.
Yeah, they're flat earthers. So what are they?
So what? Who made that club?
You.
No.
Flat earthers. Yes.
Dude, no. So most pedophiles are globe earthers. You know that, right?
No, I don't. But it wouldn't surprise.
Yeah, they are though.
Most pedophiles are flat earthers.
No, they're globe earthers.
Well, yeah, that's because 99% of people on the globe.
Yeah. So guess what? You're suspect.
Okay.
See how stupid that is? Cut it out, dude. Grow up.
It's not really. Doesn't.
No, grow up, dude.
I am grown up, but
okay. Whatever Jeranism did has nothing to do with us, me. I don't fucking endorse him. Never did, and never will. Okay. Your conclusion is based upon a fucking hit piece that selectively edited his. That's interesting. That he said fucking 4 hours before. Okay. This is what you got to rely on. So, outstanding that, you said that, hey, flat earthers do experiments wrong. Which one? And then you named one where he proved the fucking globe, you said. Did he do that wrong?
He did his experiment wrong. He was expecting.
So it was wrong, so he didn't prove the globe. No, so he didn't prove the globe.
What I'm saying is, he did the experiment.
And he didn't prove the globe because he did it wrong?
No, I'm saying he didn't prove it flat because it didn't work out with how he thought the experiment would go out.
It's because he burnt out the fucking laser, dude.
It wasn't a laser. It was like a flashlight or something.
I know, because he burnt out the laser. He had a laser with a collimator, and he left it on too long, and the collimator gets hot and melted to the laser.
Okay.
Of course you know all this.
Well, if you do, then I guess you know more about your people than you're saying.
Well, you know, after it happened, he did a stream where he described everything that happened in the test. Plus, I know Geolove, who was there.
Amazing.
Yeah, so people were there. So give us the one where that was done wrong. Actually, what I really want you to do is tell us how to account for refraction. That would be interesting.
Experiments. It's not.
Tell us. Well, since we do it wrong, tell us how to do it right.
I would, but I don't have time.
Yeah. Tell us how to account for refraction. Since we do it wrong, why don't you give us the right calculation?
I mean, you're claiming you know how to do that, right? So
no. Give us no. I'm claiming it can't be done. That's what I'm claiming.
You can't calculate distance without refraction?
No, I'm claiming that there is no model of refraction that works.
There's no model of refraction.
There is no way to quote unquote account for refraction because there's no model that works.
What do you mean there's no?
It can't be accounted for. Any model of refraction that you can think of out of the 20 or 30 for terrestrial refraction, none work.
I don't think that's true, but okay.
Well, I know it's true because I've looked at the academic literature, Mighty. What have you done?
What is your profession?
Irrelevant.
Okay. If I read academic literature from let's say medical school, does that mean I'm a doctor?
No. What the hell's that got to do with anything?
It means you need the experiment. You need the fucking experience. Sorry, to read the literature and understand it. That's what it means, and that's not.
No, it doesn't. Okay, because listen, you can read the medical literature and understand it and not be a doctor.
Okay.
Okay, that's idiotic to suggest you have to be a doctor to understand it. You know, the people that read it mostly aren't doctors yet.
What?
Yeah, that's retarded because if that was the case, then
they're in pre-med or they're going to school. They're reading the medical literature. They're not doctors yet.
What I'm saying is, if you really want to conduct,
what I'm saying is, you're a fucking moron.
You could take an engineer with you. You can take someone who knows science, and do the experience with the experiment with him.
All the data has already been done. Okay,
ask for a peer review then. Ask for a peer review. Send it to a university.
All the data. Why would I reinvent the wheel? It's already been done, dude.
Okay, so show me where it's done. I want to see the peer review on your article that you posted on an experiment. Go ahead, show me.
What are you talking about? Article I posted on an experiment? What?
Yeah, you did an experiment. You came up with conclusions, right? You wrote it down. You wrote down the
measurements. What experiment?
The calculations.
You said an experiment. Who said I did an experiment?
So you didn't do experiments. You just said fucking 2 seconds ago that you did experiments with your own eyes. What are you talking about? You said, I did experiments. Did you do experiments, Mighty? Yeah, you did experiments. Okay, show me. Show me the fucking data. Go ahead. Give me the raw data.
I didn't say I did experiments. I said I made observations.
Observations.
I've actually tested shit, whereas you haven't.
You fucking called me out for not doing experiments like 2 seconds ago, and you said that you did. Observations.
Listen, what were we talking? What was it? What were we talking about? What were you? What specifically were we talking about when I said you don't do any experiments?
We were talking about the flat Earth experiment, and then you're like,
refraction models.
No, we were talking about the horizon.
Yeah.
Moving around. And I said, go to the beach and make an observation. Did you ever observe anything?
And you said, I don't need to give you evidence for this. And then I said, okay, so why should I believe you? And you're like, because I did experiments. And then I was like, okay,
no, I did not fucking say that. You fucking lying piece of shit.
Okay, I'm going into the recording right now on YouTube, and I'm going to
Please do it.
I will. Okay, give me 2 seconds.
Fucking lying piece of shit. Go on mute till you come up with it. Post when you come up with it. Piece of garbage.
That guy should just be canned.
I know, dude. Listen, that's why I said the first thing when I came in, it's like, why are we even talking to this guy? He's just a lying piece of garbage. Look, dude, he freaking told 3 lies in a row the last time I talked to him. Like, in a row.
Yeah. And then he's playing interference for anybody else that jumps in. In the meantime, his cornhole is flapping.
Yeah, you know what? I'm going to make an executive decision, even though I'm not an executive over here. Oh, he deafened. He made it easy for me.
Yep. Like, I don't know how we can do it, just maybe possibly doing it over and over again. That's the only way.
I think AI and Heretic can ban people.
All right, who here actually believes in a flat Earth, or are you just a grifter?
Man, that's all today, Indio. I
grifter.
Swear. That's what it started.
Where's
like
my
this
check?
Morning. When I first, that's what I said, and you know what he responded with? That grifter means something else. But you already know that's not what they meant. Yeah, that's what the guy in the morning said. He said the exact same thing this guy said.
You're doing something wrong.
Grifter means you're. Do you know what grifter means?
I do, but what's that guy's name? Dave.
Okay, define it for us.
Grifting.
Define grifter.
Grifting. Do you want like the actual do you want me to look it up right now and get it? From
you said you know what it is.
Yeah, it's engaging.
Just tell us. I don't need you to look it up. I need you to tell me from memory.
It's engaging in petty or small scale swindling.
Okay, what are we swindling people out of?
Money.
Oh yeah? Where's my check?
If you're not getting a check out of it, you're fucking stupid. I know Dave does. You remember Professor Dave?
So he's not a grifter then.
Yeah. So what's your argument for the Earth being a globe?
You know that Dave, hold on, Flat Earth Dave was already a multi-millionaire.
His name was Flat Earth Dave, I forgot.
Flat Earth Dave was already a multi-millionaire before he ever engaged in this topic, I hate to tell you. He sold an IT company for something like $110 million. He don't need money.
I present your globe argument, dude. See what you got. See what you got.
All right.
Yeah, because you're not on point. What is the argument for the Earth being a globe?
He bounced. Bitched out.
That's all they got. Oh well. All day long they've been saying that.
We got Josh
in here. Who here's a flat earther? Who here's a
Josh was like white knighting for fucking some troll yesterday. Yeah, I know. Dude, me and you kicked this shit off, dude, this morning, man. It's still going.
That's what I'm saying. The theme today has been who here is a flat earther? That's the first thing they say when they come in here.
Funny. Who here's a flat earther? Insert unsolicited comment. That has nothing to do with the topic. You're like, who here's a flat earther? Me. Hi. You're short, bald, covered in Cheeto dust. Like, how did you get all that out of hi?
The first thing you ask Mighty to do is go ahead and present the argument that for the Earth being a globe. Well, first you take a flat plane and you're like, I don't know. And then the guys who actually white knight for him, they're like, oh, let him speak. If he just get off of mute, he'd be able to tell you. No, he gets off of mute, crickets. And he opened up his mouth again and is back to, well, if the Earth is flat, like the first thing he says.
Yeah, but your oil rig picture, I love how he brought it up.
Look, man, you know how bad I'd feel about myself as a human being if I lied like as much as that guy does? Like literal lies. This isn't like subjective lies. I actually, the last time I talked to him, I ran the audio through through Gemini, and it said he lied like 11 times. That was like in a 30-minute conversation. That means he said he didn't say something, but he actually did say it and denied saying it in the first place. I don't get it, man. Oh, I know who Josh was white knighting for. He was white knighting for Blay. Have you talked to Blay, AB?
Blay, yeah. He was on about the edge of the Earth. If we can't tell him
Joshua?
Let me quiet him down. If you can't tell me that the Earth has an edge, then I won't believe it's flat. That was Blay. Go ahead.
Okay, I was just asking, who's Joshua? Sorry, also I didn't say that at all. That was that girl.
No, you said
Joshua
it too.
was white knighting for you yesterday.
I don't know who that is, sorry.
I know, but he did it anyway.
Sometimes I just join here, I talk for like 10 seconds, and then I get muted, and I just go on, like, I just, like, disappear.
Well, like now?
Blay, you talked yesterday to me, and then I asked you to repeat what I said, and then you weren't listening. Remember?
Yesterday? I didn't talk to you guys yesterday. I talked to you guys 2 days ago.
Whatever it was.
Or 3 days. I don't know. When was that? I wasn't on yesterday. I was busy.
Can you tell us a single flat Earth argument?
Flat Earth argument?
Yeah,
I mean,
anyone.
some of you have differing opinions, but
no, not opinions. I said argument. God, you guys are fucking hard of hearing or something.
There's comprehension problem, dude. They don't know how to. You're saying words in English, the same language they speak. They just don't know how to, like, it doesn't register the words you're saying.
Yeah, can you just repeat any flat Earth argument? Don't worry, we're not gonna like clip it and say, "Hey, Blake, turn to the other side." You know, it's okay to, this is a hypothetical.
Okay. So I've spoken to like 6 of you. The most common one I've heard is it's like all of the math stuff doesn't matter because you started with the presumption of a ball, right? That's the boiling down, but it's like I can experiment. I know that the Earth is flat because I stood at the edge and I observed with my own eyes. There was the camera argument that the space videos are fake because like the curve on the lens.
Can you go through one at a time? Because I didn't even know what you said. What was the first one? What was that first one?
The first one was the math is, what do you say? The math is wrong because they assume it's a globe or something?
I don't know. Like, I didn't understand what he was saying. Like, he speaks like word salad, and then he's like, want us to decipher what he's saying. Like,
yeah, give us that first one again. Yeah, give us the first one again.
I use the the light argument with the I think his name's Aristosthenes, where you can calculate.
Give us the first one again, dude.
Yeah, this is the first one. Okay, I'll just clarify what I'm saying. In the past, I used the Aristosthenes argument with the angle to the sun, and then someone in here said that that's wrong because you can't tell me what the sun is, you can't go to it, you can't measure it. So it's like
it's not that it's wrong. Okay, it's that it's not a globe exclusive proof. It also works on a flat Earth. Key variables in that presuppose means you hasn't or can't be proven. The distance to the sun, right? and the surface you're standing on. It presupposes that you're on a sphere, and it presupposes the sun is a near infinite distance away.
Yeah, Indio, hold on, Blair. Can you go through the reasons why it's even worse than that? Compounding also the problem that you'd have detailing whether or not that story was even a story that could be validated as an actual human being named Eratosthenes that did a test such as that in the manner in which he did it, because it sounds like an ever-changing story. 2 sticks, 2 wells, 1 stick in a well, an obelisk. Like, we don't even know what the exact... Again, I mean, you never get a concise way of that they're being able to detail what Eratosthenes and who he did and how he did it. You got, these professional striders that went from Alexandria and Syene in between there. And supposedly, they're comparing notes between the angle to the sun in one location and angle to the sun in another. And it's like, the thing is so obscure, whether or not it's even coming from a first primary source. Like, you don't even know that information to then come around and say that that's solidifying a point. So it's really bad, dude. Like, honestly, if we were to critique you on that much, could you tell us if you know if it's a first-hand account?
Hold on, dude. It's even worse than that. Number 3. Degrees did not even exist in fucking Alexandria at the time. They didn't use those units for another 360 fucking years. So that's one problem. Problem number 2 is there's the length of a stad, the measurement varied. There was no standard unit of measure, and it's unknown what that distance was within even 30%.
Could you not repeat the experiment today to get like a calculation?
Yeah, you could. You'd make the same presuppositions.
Okay. Because as far as I can tell from
it's
talking
not
to
our
people
opinion.
here,
So I'm going to just end this. Hold on. It's not our opinion that there's a problem. It's in peer-reviewed papers that it's a problem. You think flat earthers invented this shit?
Well, can you link?
So I'm going to post in the chat a paper where which is from a scientific society that says Eratosthenes made some assumptions, and if he used different assumptions, he would have came to a different conclusion. Okay,
well, that's a big problem. But like, what about the other ones that we mentioned? Like, how does he know that it was a primary source that we're getting this information from? The man Eratosthenes. Like, there's no account of this. Is this like?
That is a valid concern, actually. Like, you can't verify anything up until, like, I think the 1940s or whatever. When did they have a video audio recording?
You're getting it. You're getting it. So we're talking about historical facts and how things are taken into account from, people that wrote back in the day. So it's not unlikely for something to be fabricated or a story being told that people are taking on as this is what an actual historical event that took place. It's not beyond the realm of like, imagination, bro. Like, you know what I mean? Like, how can there's just a lot of people just taking it for granted? Like, this is something that actually occurred. Like, let alone like what Indio just brought in there. Like, the math that we're using wasn't even the kind of math that we're using at the time where Eratosthenes was said to exist in that time period. But like the timeline's incorrect with a lot of information, bro. Like, is what I'm saying. So I mean,
yeah, I get that. When was the first mention, like in modern history books, of that experiment? Because we could actually verify if, like, it came from that period, not who actually wrote it.
Pliny the Elder. It came from Pliny the Elder, who was writing about Cleomedes, who was talking about Eratosthenes, but there's no primary source. There's only a tertiary source, so it's 3 people removed.
What year was it?
Pliny the Elder was something like 800 years later. Or no, Cleomedes was 800 years later. Pliny the Elder was like 1300, something like that.
Look at the gap of time, though. That's almost a millennia, bro.
Yeah, I'm not saying that it's like, he's going to be the first one. I was just meaning like we could verify if it's even a first-hand event based on when it was first written down.
Well, okay.
If it is like 800 years later, then yeah, we could probably make the argument that someone just bullshitted it. Like, for example, a lot of European countries bullshitted their history in the early, like, 1900s, late 1800s.
Yeah, and I'm only just challenging the veracity of that specific claim on the merit of, like, that this is an actual account that occurred, something that took place in history. And even going off of the basis of that, like if somebody fabricated it in recent history, then that means that in the past, whatever happened because of the math wasn't actually the way they constructed that particular, like what India was talking about with the math, because the particular type of math that they used wasn't even developed until later on. So what makes us think that they even did, or he did what people thought he did? Like, no, there's nothing being challenged here, dude. Nothing's challenged is what I mean. And everybody's just accepting, okay, let's just say the story's true. Now let's see what he did in the story. Like, you get what I'm saying? It's like, you could have just made it up. And then we're all just listening to you. Like,
the question I have for that, right? Like, so I'll agree with you that we can't actually prove any of these people did anything they said. But like, does the math work?
For what though? What I'm trying to get to is, what is a math? What is it working for? Is it a mental construct? Is it an actual applied mathematics that we're going to take to, and test and verify?
Okay, so the thing that he tried to do, which the presumption was that it was a ball. Okay. Now, he wasn't actually trying to say the Earth is flat, the Earth is round. That wasn't actually the experiment's purpose. The experiment's purpose was essentially like to determine the circumference of the Earth. That's what he was trying to do. So that
doesn't it have to be a ball?
The circumference of the Earth based on what?
So
based on what, like a mathematical construct, or like an actual, like the physical world? Like, what do you mean? Like, there's something that we don't know. Like,
okay, so here's the thing, right?
Nobody knows how to parse it out. Like, what are you talking about? The actual world that you're standing on, like that?
If we assume,
go ahead.
Okay, so if we assume the Earth is a ball, but I'm just saying this for the sake of what his
the
equation
physical
was.
Earth, dude, like a mathematical construct. What are you doing?
Okay, can I speak, please?
I don't know how you're differentiating what we're doing. Like, on math? Like, just using math only?
You just asked me a question. Now you're just like talking over me. Like, I can answer you completely.
He's confused. He doesn't know.
I'm just trying to figure out which one is it? The physical Earth outside, or math that you did on a piece of paper? Which one? You could draw what a circle looks like.
Okay, so what he was doing was that he came with the presumption that the Earth was a ball, which he wasn't trying to like agree or deny with that. What he tried to do was calculate how big the circumference of the Earth was. So the argument that you said, not the argument, the thing that you noted before, yeah. So like, if the physical Earth was a ball, he wasn't trying to say if it wasn't or if it was. The reason that it's not really proof of a ball, the way a lot of people argue with you guys about, okay, is that he wasn't trying to measure it like in a sense where like, oh, gotcha, it's a ball. The thing is with his experiment, what he tried to do was take known distances, which they used to calculate by having these people. I forget what their job was called. I think one of you mentioned it before.
Professional strider.
Yeah, the striders. They would count their paces, but it was wildly inaccurate because, like, I could tell you how long a meter is on a meter stick, and if I told you,
it's also doubtful. I hate to tell you, it's doubtful whether they actually existed.
Oh, okay, fair enough. I mean,
I can give you a history. So there's a book called Eratosthenes' Geography, right? And it even says it. Even though it's a whole book about Eratosthenes, they're saying, well, he might not have ever existed, and this might be all a bunch of bullshit. However, I'll tell you the story anyway.
Anyway, so he was trying to use known distances, like let's say I think it was Athens and a city in Egypt. I forget which city it was.
It was Alexandria and Cyrene.
Yeah, okay. Alexandria and Cyrene and Athens. He tried to use the direct distance based on these people who, like, at the time were alleged to have had their job of calculating distances. And then he made the presumption that, well, if the Earth is this far away from the sun, then the light lines must be parallel. So if they're parallel, then he could calculate the essentially circumference of the Earth. Like, that was his whole thing. It wasn't like, oh, the Earth is flat, the Earth is round. It was just, I wonder how big the Earth is. So he used simple math. Now, on the other hand, if you're using it as proof the Earth is not flat, it's a pretty shitty experiment to use. The only reason I ask you guys about that is because you can't calculate the circumference of a flat table.
Yeah, you can.
Well, it doesn't have one like that. Not like that, at least.
It depends on the distance of the light source.
But it's sphere math.
Yeah,
well, we actually, I'll post a video in the chat where someone calculated their flat table to be a sphere.
So you said that he's not trying to figure out if the Earth is a globe or flat.
No, he was only trying to calculate circumference.
Based on just a mathematical construct.
Yeah, based on mathematical projections. Like,
okay. All right.
And then, yeah, that's all it was.
All right. So the problem we have here, though, if it's just based on that, how could anybody realize that they actually are standing on an oblate spheroid Earth? Because if he just said, well, the math checks out, then how is somebody going to actually verify that math? Because you have to take that and see if you can test it, right?
Well, the only way you could actually check to see if they were correct, which we, I mean, it depends. I say which we did as like a species, but you could debate this, is if we can actually go to space.
So that's the only way?
Well, if you're trying to like say, well, it's not projected, blah, 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 like whatever, and you're trying to get like visual confirmation, you would go to space, right? Because if that's
are you saying there is no other way to verify it?
I mean, you could use other mathematical formulas with other real-world measurements.
No, I mean like physically outside. There's no other way other than getting inside of a vehicle and going up and looking down. There's no other way.
I mean, you could take measurements and project, but it's like, I'm not like an expert on these things, so I can't really.
You don't know any other way is what you're saying. The only way you would know is getting in a vehicle, going up and looking down.
I could use the light argument, but then if you debate the math, then I can't really say that to you.
Okay, so only going into a rocket and going up.
If you want me to physically verify that it's round, then I could go on a rocket. But if you don't accept if you don't accept mathematical projections,
I agree with you that if you're saying that the only way to verify it, you're saying is to get in a rocket and look down. I'm agreeing that you, in your worldview, that's what you're saying you would have to do.
Well, so get your standard, right, where you say like I observe with my eyes. If you're telling me to observe with my eyes, yeah, I'd need a rocket. If you're telling me I can't project
that, not our standard at all.
So
what is your standard?
Hold on, Indio. But if you're saying that's what you say you have to do, then you're telling me that outside of that, there's no other way that you can know, right? I do want you to be sure on this.
Well, okay. So, what is your standard before I agree to that? No. That is a valid question because I've had several people on the server tell me that.
No, because the standard would be for you that you can't verify it's a globe based on the Eratosthenes math unless you get in go up and look down.
Well, you could try his experiment on a flat table. It doesn't work.
No, dude. Are you going to just say the only thing that can be verified as a globe?
I took this initially, by the way. I took what you were saying initially as, like by your standard of proof, because every time I use one of these like light arguments.
Don't use what I'm saying. Only use what...
Okay, then no. If that's the case, you could mathematically project it.
Okay, mathematical projections are not a validation of the thing you think you live on. So when you take your projections and you go outside, how are you testing them? And you said the only way to do that, to test what you're saying,
you can test it. You can test it like without doing that. It's just by your standard, where like everyone in here tells me, well, I can't observe it directly. How are you testing it? You can do the shadow experiments, which, by the way, is not only Aristotle's experiments.
What do you mean?
Oh, okay. So you can calculate the angle to this. You can calculate the angle to a light source. Okay, would you agree or no?
No.
Given an arbitrary light source, could you calculate the angle to it?
Listen to me very carefully, dude. The Earth being a globe has a geometric consequent, meaning that it would be an oblate spheroid. So in order for you to know that the numbers check out, you would have to verify that the Earth is actually curved on its surface. So I'm telling you, with Eratosthenes numbers and the method that you say that he figured it out somehow, how could you test that?
The Eratosthenes experiment is not directly proving whether or not it's a ball.
I know that. So how would you test that information that you're getting from there?
I was just trying to answer you, but you just kept cutting me off.
You said the only way to do it is to get in a rocket, go up and look down.
Yeah, if you're telling me to physically observe it, then sure, that's all I'd have to do.
Wait a minute, dude. No. Physically observing and testing. Let's say that you're on the Earth, and of course you'd say it looks locally flat. So you couldn't tell. According to you, couldn't tell. So I'm asking you, okay, good. You can't tell. But can you measure? Perhaps there's some fluctuation or something that can occur in
Did you ask me initially, your initial thing was, can you tell me any of the flat Earth arguments? And now you're doing this.
Oh my
God, are trying to gotcha me.
Look, you know what's frustrating? Is that when it comes down to testing, the testing phase, you're trying to give me something that's only giving us a projection and not an actual verification. Yeah, and not an actual verification of the numbers, because the numbers you get are saying, hey, there should be this much curvature over a distance. So what you would do is take that distance and verify that there's that exact curvature over that specific distance. What I'm asking
you agree light exists?
What I'm asking you is there a way to do
you agree
that?
Light exists?
I don't ask me any questions, dude, because I'm asking for just the verification.
No, do you agree light exists? Let me explain this to you. Do you agree light exists?
No, we're not going to talk about that. Okay, that's silly.
Why?
That's silly. Because right now what you're doing is you're doing everything not to talk about what I'm saying. You're doing everything to do that.
I'm trying to answer you. I'm just trying to get the...
And not only that, but you're provoking the audience to engage in your question that you don't want to answer what I'm saying. So they're going to engage you what you're saying now and not negate what I'm telling you.
How am I invoking the audience? Have I called anyone in?
Okay, because you're saying, what is light? What is light? You're saying it over and over again. What it does, it causes a reaction.
No, you can literally calculate the angle to a light source. You can actually get the width of the light source, literally based on shadow positioning, if you take it in 3 different places.
I'm not talking about that. Not talking about that. What I'm saying is,
if the Earth
what
is
I'm
flat
telling you is, dude, listen, dude, listen very carefully.
Listen, dude, listen.
I'm gonna have to hold you this. So if you're going to tell me that Eratosthenes gave you some numbers that the Earth is a certain size, what are you going to do to test to see if that's actually true?
What am I going to do to test it's actually true? See if it's use modern day measurements to see if it's correct.
Like what?
You can just repeat the same experiment.
Like what?
Okay, so if I take meters, and I take the presumed bird's eye view, and then I take a straight line from one place to another, I could just test to see if I could repeat his experiment.
What are you talking about? What are you doing? Specifically name what are you going to do?
He's doing Eratosthenes still. He's still on Eratosthenes.
Yeah, dude, okay.
Dude, if you're asking me to prove that his calculation was correct.
Yeah, that's exactly what I'm asking you to do. What are you doing to test that his calculation, that he's talking about the Earth being a sphere or a circle, in some way the surface is curving? How are you testing that outside? Inquiring minds want to know.
I just tried to answer you like 10 times.
No, you didn't. So what are you doing?
You can take 3 different positions on Earth. You can calculate the angle to the sun.
We're not calculating. That's what you've already done. You've already calculated that the Earth is a certain size. We're already past that. We're now onto the verifying stage, where you're going to measure whether or not the calculation is correct or not. Do you understand? You're past calculation. You've already calculated all the information from Eratosthenes. So now you got a number value. The Earth is said to have this radius value, this circumference value. Good. Now we're going to verify it. How are we going to do that? Calculation is done with. Now it's time to measure. Go. Did he deafen?
Yeah,
no shit, dude.
He just did it. He wasn't deafened the whole time. He just did it.
Dude. You see, this is what I'm saying. It's like these guys they get to the point where, it's time to put your money where your mouth is, and they do this.
Yeah, it's like, how are you going to verify Eratosthenes? Oh, I'll just do another one. Are you fucking dunce?
It's like, you've already done the calculation. Like, well, we're going to calculate again. No, you've already calculated. You're already saying the Earth is what you're claiming, the radius, diameter, circumference. We got all that. Now, how are you going to go outside and verify that's true? Wow, we're going to do it over again. Again? We're just going to imagine? Like, this is amazing, dude. This is crazy. Sometimes it feels like you're losing your mind when these guys are just like on repeat. It's like they don't realize that the question you're asking is for the actual, verification of those calculations. Because somebody building a table, I've calculated, I'm thinking it's about, 5 feet. Okay, good. How do you know that? I just did a calculation. Really? Imagine if that's how it was done.
Dude. It wouldn't even get one day on the job, bro.
We just did a calculation.
It might not make the 10 o'clock break.
It's like, seriously, you're not going to measure it? Why? We're just going to repeat the calculation over again, man.
Hey, Blay. Canteen trucks here. Just keep walking. Keep walking right past it.
Don't even stop. Unfreaking believable. Is there any white knights in the house that would like to, like, any Glober white knights? Do you think Bled? I bet you anything they're in there like, dude, Bled did such an amazing job. That guy, he had his points together.
He still doesn't even understand the presuppositions. He's like, well, the sun's go, and he said the light goes straight and blah blah blah. Like, you're still presupposing that the light rays are parallel. Like, bro, like what? Still don't get that part.
Or you can measure it to the sun and do some calculations, and like, I mean, I don't know what we can do with that, man.
An entire imaginary world into existence.
How did you verify that? Well, we just did another calculation on top of that. Like, is there anybody else that can advocate for the Earth being a globe? You have a good argument for it?
Not with AV. I'm sorry.
Come on,
you're like
man.
You're one of the most infuriating flat earthers. You and Professor Triangle.
Dude, I've given him the option to actually explain in like outside. What do you do? I can't even. How can you break it down in more simpler terms that somebody can realize? Okay, you've already done all the calculations. You're done doing that. Now go outside and test what your calculations were actually showing you. How are you going to do that? Well, I'm just going to recalculate again and just do another calculation. That was not what I'm asking for.
So what are you asking for?
Oh, for God's sakes, dude. Crying out loud. Okay, you know how you calculate stuff and Superman can fly? You did the math equations and stuff. But when you go outside, it's not true that Superman can fly because that math can't be reproduced in reality. So, okay, you did a calculation. The Earth is this big and you got radius and diameter, circumference. What are you going to do outside to see if that actually manifests in reality outside in our physical world? How are you going to test that? Are you going to test it? Anyone?
So you want somebody to essentially measure the circumference of the Earth?
Bueller. Huh? Yeah, dude. Who's going to do that? Who's going to verify the Earth is whatever they're claiming the size that they are, at least a fraction, a small sample set? Who's going outside to test in the field that the Earth is an actual globe? Who is doing that? Are you? Has someone done it already? And don't appeal to some Netflix documentary, for God's sakes. Go to academia. See if anybody actually, a professor, and pick one of your prestigious colleges. See if anybody's ever done it. Bro, I don't care how much math you think you know. It means fucking jack shit if you're not able to produce the evidence that it actually is applied outside that way. If you can test, verify. Really doesn't. I don't care if you're a math wizard, bro.
For as emotional and as angry as they are at us, you think that after the 2 years of being in this chat in this server, that one would have been angry enough to be like, I'm gonna show those motherfuckers. I'm gonna go measure the curvature right now.
Yeah. That's the thing. I hope I do provoke somebody to that. Fuck, man, I'm gonna go show them. I'm gonna fucking videotape it. Good. Fucking do it. And if you come back, fucking Bob's your uncle if you measured it, because I'd like to see the method. Yeah? Like to see it. Show everybody your work. What did you do? Well, if I did do it, you're not going to believe I did it. Like, bullshit. Yeah. Hopefully that should get some people like... Well, I'm just saying, like, who can actually stand on all 10 of your toes and tell me you've measured the Earth? Nobody.
Can you give me one test some anti-flat Earth globetard has done that we denied the results? Just one example. Yeah, that's what I thought.
Engaged with you guys? I'm not really sure.
No, that's what I thought, bro. That's what I thought. Why do you guys just make shit up constantly?
The trip
what
to Antarctica.
The fuck is you guys' mental defect? Seriously.
Just
like any images from space, just it's all fake and cartoons.
Bro, you never even been to space. What are you talking about?
Dude, how the fuck was that not what it... Dude, India was asking something very specific. I am too. Why do you... It's like you guys don't fucking understand.
You know, yeah, what globetard came in here and said, I took images from space? Once again, nobody. Talking about somebody doing something that's denying they did it. That had actually produced actual results.
Amateur rocket launches with cameras attached. I think that counts.
Oh my god, dude! None of those rockets go high enough to see the Earth as a fucking ball, Mansky.
And they weren't manned either.
Curve,
so
that's yeah, that's a problem for you.
Why?
Because you would have to be a tiny fucking Earther. Don't you know your own geometry, Mansky? How much of the Earth would the ISS see, Mansky?
How much of the Earth?
Yeah, what percentage of the Earth's surface?
I don't know the exact percentage, but it's not the whole thing.
Yeah, we know
so
that.
It's up
How much? What's the percentage?
Miles.
200. Yeah.
Low Earth orbit.
How exactly is the Earth flat, though?
I want an answer to this question. Wait a second.
Hold on.
Okay, I'll just tell you if you're going to Google it. 3%.
Yeah, I'm Googling it.
How much do you think a rocket 3%. Going 50 miles into the air sees?
Yeah, not much, but you can see a curve. It's not flat.
Yeah, and you shouldn't. And you shouldn't because you don't see enough of the Earth's surface to see a curve.
Be less than that.
Well, yeah, you can.
Yeah, but I saw the curve in the picture.
If you can only see 3% of the Earth at the highest point that people typically exist at.
No, wait. Time out. Just wait. 3% of the idea that the Earth is a globe. When it concerns the Earth that we live on right now, we don't know the extent of the realm. So giving a percentage, hold on a second, wait a minute, just give me a second. Giving the exact numeric value to the extent of the realm that in which we exist right now would not be able to be given. The idea, if the Earth was a globe at the specific size that they say it is, would be ascribed a numeric value. That's the difference, guys. Don't get those wires crossed. Okay, he's not telling you if you go up and you should see this. If the Earth was a globe, as a globe, with the geometry of it being what it is, then that's how much you would see. The numeric value would be what he just said. Exactly that. Not right now, though.
Well, my point was no amateur rocket goes even close to high enough. The Earth is supposed to have, your globe has a diameter of 8,000 miles. You think going 50 miles away from the surface would allow you to see curvature? Think about it for a second.
Well, the mainstream claims that you can see a curvature at, what, 35,000 feet?
35,000.
Well, that's this year. It's changed since I've been in this topic. It's changed 5 times.
There's
what Google just shows you is what the most common Google click-through fucking link is.
It's weird because you see things like ships disappearing from the bottom up, and you see the effects of curvature, not actual curvature itself. And then you get things like at 35,000 feet. Well, I mean, I don't know what Google's up to these days, but I mean, if it's changed the algorithm where it's not saying that anymore, saying that if it's not putting information out there that says that, then, I mean, nobody really knows the altitude. I mean, you guys sure don't. If we ask you at what altitude do you start to notice the curvature actually visually, what altitude would that be? What are you guys going to be able to tell us? Honestly, you wouldn't know. What'd you say?
It's like tens of feet.
Tens of feet? What?
Yeah. On like a flat plane, if you go up 10 feet, shine a beam out, about like several miles out, you'll see like, changes in elevation in an area that's supposed to be flat.
Dude.
What?
Put the bong down, bro.
Woof, man. Dude, we're talking about altitudes at which exceeding that, like, by incredible amounts, dude. Like, what are you, 10 feet? Does any glober here actually agree with this gentleman? I'd like to see how many would get on this crazy bandwagon, by the way. Raise your hands, guys, if you agree with this dude right here.
Just to tell you, man.
No takers. No takers.
There's at least 20 people right now with their hands raised.
Yeah, no takers. Nobody's actually advocating for what you're saying.
Yeah, so I want to bring something up to Mansky just real quick about what he said about the 35,000 feet. If you had a ball that was 6 feet in diameter, right? You scaled the Earth down to a ball 6 feet in diameter, right? 6 feet tall. An airplane would be 1/100th of an inch above it. Okay? You wouldn't see curve from an airplane. That's bullshit.
Yeah,
what Google says. The geometry don't check out, because that's the beauty of mathematics and geometry. You don't have to believe anything says. You can just test it. You can just check it yourself.
When I use geometry, you reject it, though.
What geometry did I reject?
Cry.
What geometry did I reject?
He was talking about in the realm of verifying, not you, King. In the realm of verifying that the Earth is what they're saying it is, when you go outside into the field and test a small sample set, and because you're not testing it, you just said, I'll repeat the calculation again. That's not verifying in the field. Your calculation is what you think it is.
Not what I was saying.
That's why we reject it, because it's not. You keep going back.
You're wrong once again.
You tried to
circular.
You tried to test your Eratosthenes by doing another Eratosthenes, but it has the same. The second one has the same problem as the first one. Parallel rays of the sun.
You're just in an endless circle jerk, dude. You can't get out of it because you're never verifying those numeric values outside in the field. Within a small sample set, of course, because you can't, see the entire Earth or whatever. So take a small sample set, a good size amount, right? Nothing you can do will be able to do that because you haven't seen anything in academia for sure. Obviously, Eratosthenes is just like, as you put it, a calculation. I mean, we cut right down through it, ladies and gentlemen. We're showing you nothing that you can do can present the Earth as what you believe it to be. You're thinking in your mind, well, at the end of the day, when I go to bed at night and I close my eyes, the Earth's still going to be a globe. Never was, never will. You're just imagining in your imagination, the Earth is a globe. But when it comes right down to it, you know what I'm saying is true. Nobody can ever test it. You haven't seen any test that verifies that curvature measurement, nor can you do one. There's nothing you can do about that, except for keep telling me how it's calculated in a mathematical construct. That's it. Well, it's an oblate spheroid with a radius, diameter, circumference. Like, we all know that. So now what? You want
to see know it's an oblate spheroid?
That's what it's claimed to be, Blair.
Well, you just said you know it, so I'm going to clip that. I'm going to play that back to you.
Go ahead. Play it back.
Please get a few more seconds of it so we got some context.
Yeah, it's all imaginary.
If the Earth is flat, what's under it?
Dude, honestly...
What makes you think the world is flat?
If I had a nickel for every time it's seen that, okay, when you go to the beach, how do you observe the horizon? Isn't it horizontal and flat?
It curves.
Okay. If you say it curves, then you could see that the Earth is an actual sphere from a beach. Is that true? That's not true.
We're talking about the horizon line, right?
Yes.
Yeah, it does curve because...
Really?
What do you mean by looking like a curve? Like a globe?
Well, I mean, lady, if the Earth is a sphere, the surface would curve. Yes, like a ball. Like
yeah, because it does curve. That's why the horizon line curves.
You've seen that?
You've never been to a beach and seen a horizon line?
Yeah, it's a common experience that we all experience the Earth as a horizontal plane.
I think that's your proof. Okay.
Let me tell you something. People everywhere, even people that believe the Earth is a globe, they say we can say with all assurance that the Earth looks locally flat. They all say that. It's the common experience.
But that's from our perspective.
However, they will differ from us in saying that it's not actually flat. It just seems that way in our local experience. But as you get up higher or look down from more altitude, you'll start to see it that it's an actual globe. So you're actually denying the first part, which is what the common experience is, that everyone sees the Earth as a horizontal plane locally. You're denying that part, which I think that's where you're wrong.
I suppose I did deny that. You're right, I did.
Yeah. It's the but the outside of that, the people who believe the Earth is a globe will say that it's actually not measured that way, or it's, if you think about it, it's outside of our senses because we can't see it because we're so small, like an amoeba on a basketball or something. So they're saying that. Meanwhile, you're denying the first part, which I think is disingenuous.
Well, I apologize for. You're right. I did deny that on accident. I did not hear your question correctly.
That's fine. A lot of the cognitive dissonance kicks in when we're talking about this. It triggers people because they don't want to say that the Earth is flat in any way. Not even in observation when we see it locally that way.
So you think the
reason I use locally. Say again.
You think the Earth is 2D or 3D?
Dude, like. Honestly, your questions.
You gotta wade through them, AV. You gotta wade through them.
I don't mind answering your questions. Like, it's just, listen, when we talk about the Earth, we observe it the way you do. If I stand next to you, I see everything you see, okay? Everything you see, I see. So I don't see something that's silly as a 2D Earth, okay? I don't see that. Everything you see, I see.
But I think
so. I'm not going to deny observations. Neither should you. Yes.
But aren't like all first-person observations technically 2D? Like, we know that things are 3D because we understand that depth exists. But at the end of the day, most 3D objects project a 2D image onto a surface, onto like the lens of your eye. So you look at something, you see a 2D image, but you understand a third dimension to be there because you've experienced it.
Okay. So what is your point?
We're talking about the horizon being flat because you can see it being flat. Well, because you're projecting a 2D image onto your eyes, but that is a 3D.
What?
That's like a 3D experience. You're just ignoring the depth that's there.
Yeah. So what's the depth have to do with it? Where does the depth come involved?
This is like a 2D projection of a 3D object. So a sphere is in 3D.
What's the object? What's the object?
Well, I'm giving you an example. So,
I'm asking what the object is right here. What are we looking
at? Hold on. I'm getting there. So, a sphere is known to be 3D, but it projects a 2D image onto a surface below it, right? Kind of like a shadow. A shadow is that 2D projection. But we know when you look at a ball, even though it looks like a circle when you're looking at it, you understand it to be a sphere because you understand that circle has depth.
Okay, so that's a lovely point. Well,
when you look at the horizon, yes, it looks like a 2D projection, but that is a 3D like object or point in space.
Okay.
The reason you don't see.
Wait a minute. Is a horizon a 3D object?
Yeah, because there's things beyond the horizon as well, right?
Okay.
So you look at it, you see a line, but there are things that are past that line that you can't see.
Is the Earth a 3D object embedded in the space?
When you look at the Earth, you see a 3D object.
Can you answer my question?
It is a 3D object, but the object that is projected onto your lens is 2D.
Is it embedded in a space?
I don't think that you can technically embed something into space in that way, no.
Well, if it's inside the vacuum of space, it would be embedded in the vacuum of space.
Well, that presupposes that it's not moving, right? Because embedded would imply that it's like static.
No, doesn't imply that. Because there could be motion relative
or maybe like a soft, airy sheet.
It could be relative to your perspective. You could say that, like,
I think you're right. It is embedded.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. Okay.
Any sleepers in chat?
Can I say something as a blower?
Wait. We're getting a whole bunch of people coming in here and interrupting. What did you say, ma'am?
Oh no, I was just listening. Let King and you go.
Well, did you say something relevant to what we're talking about, or no?
Yeah, no, because you said it embedded, and then King got confused because embedded sounds like, embedded nail and wood, and I'm saying embed like a sheet because it is surrounded and completed, and it's an also turn of phrase because it's in bed like you would find sheets in a bed.
Yeah, that's a little bit of semantics, so you can understand. did that expound a little bit more on what? Because that did kind of cover what I was saying.
Yeah.
To King.
Yeah, so when you look at it, you only see the 2D projection under your eye, but there's depth there too.
Okay.
But you can't see the depth because it goes under.
So do
the
we
horizon,
see?
Right?
Okay. Do we see a plane?
No, technically not. No,
we don't. We do not see a plane when we look upon the waters of the earth at a beach. We do not see a plane. Is that what you're saying?
No, I'm saying that because it's a 3D object, it's being projected as 2D when you look at it.
What is it? Well, okay,
but
what
that
object,
just ignores that.
Specifically, what object are you speaking of? Which object?
The horizon.
Is the horizon an object? I know.
It is an object in the sense that it is a thing that it exists that we were talking about.
Yeah,
if you want to say it's like
it's not defined as an object.
Oh, the phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like, what do you want to consider the phenomenon of horizon?
Okay, so in this realm that we're talking right here in this room, every term that you use has a token meaning. So when you say something, it either means the thing you're saying or it doesn't. So
okay, sure, yeah. So we clarify. We're talking about the horizon, which is a phenomenon, which I mistakenly referred to as an object. Correct.
Okay. That's good. What is that? Yeah. Okay. So is that horizon? Does it have any curvature that you can see from your perspective as a human standing on the earth? Can you see anything that details that would insinuate that there is a curvature?
Well, that's what I'm saying. You can't perceive past a horizon because you can't see it. It's like you look at a ball.
No, that's not. I'm not talking.
It looks like a circle.
Sir. I'm not asking you to perceive beyond something else.
Well, you can't. That's what I'm saying.
Okay, well, sir, just answer the question. What do you see when you look at the horizon? Do you detail any curvature when you look at the horizon? Yes or no?
No,
the 2D projection.
I want him to actually.
But it's like it's ignoring the nuance of what I'm actually saying.
No, just be honest. Like the lady could actually answer honestly, because listen, if you believe the Earth is a globe and you have a hard stance on it, you could defend the position outside of what I'm saying. But if you're too insecure to agree with something that could be observed naturally, that shows that you're super insecure to affirm that our observations are the same. Why do you deny observations, sir? I don't get it.
Let's take the conversation away from the Earth and just talk about the geometry of it.
No, we're not, because it's relative to the conversation. It's like the elephant in the room. If you take that away, then it's going to negate the whole conversation. We're speaking of the Earth, and the reason.
The entire position you're taking is literally just ignoring geometry. It's ignoring what you can't see. It's ignoring the idea of a 2D projection.
We haven't even got there, King. We haven't even got there. We're just only describing what we see. Okay. When it concerns anything to do with geometry, we could discuss that in a different manner. At the moment right now, I just want to talk about things we agree on. You and I. We're outside and we see the earth around us. What do we see? Now, if you're reluctant to say what it is, it's coming from a place that you feel very insecure to at least affirm what we all see together. It would be disingenuous of me to say I see something that you see that I'd say I see it differently than you. Like, I don't know, you say, I see the curve of the earth or whatever, and I see a flat horizon. Well, one of us is telling the truth, isn't it? One of us isn't. Because it's not the common experience. And all of us that are in this room right now will be able to know if you're saying something that's a common experience or it's not.
I think a crux of the argument is just observation. How do you observe it? How are you getting that information? How are you proving it? And how are you singling out your observations from other mitigating factors?
That's perceptive. But I want him to actually realize if we can agree on just simple observations, and then you can take it to another step if you want to layer it with your understanding of you believe it's a globe. So far, you're trying to argue the fact, and I don't know for what reason, that us looking over a horizon of the earth on a beach seems to be like we're at a disagreement with even just the observation. Which I don't know why.
I'm saying that you can't make that observation and say this is flat with the information that you have.
Yes, you can. Yes, you definitely can. In an observation where you're saying, hey, this is what the earth looks like to me right now. I'm looking at it. This is what it looks like. Yes, you can. You can say that. Why not?
But without actual proof, then your opinion isn't exactly correct.
No. What we're only saying, though, is just as an observation. Testing is something different. I can tell you what something looks like, but if you say, well, it's actually not what you're saying it is, it's something else, that can be done in a testing phase. We can do something to verify it's not exactly what we're seeing. You get what I mean? I'll give you an example. There's something called an inferior mirage or shimmering on a, like on a hot day with the road. And it looks like there's like a puddle of water off in the distance, which is not actually the case, as you all well know. You get up closer and that shimmering effect disappears. That's with, as you close in on that distance. So you can say it looked like water, but actually when I got closer, it wasn't really, it was a mirage. Same goes for what we see off in the distance, right? Because if you're saying it's something that it's a optical phenomena or it's actually what you're seeing it as, then you can test for that in a sort of measurement, some type of measurement, I'd say. If it can be done, let's see, a measurement can be done, then you could tell me from an academic standpoint, something you've been educated on of how this has been proven. So all we're doing in this chat right now is identifying as many people that can come in here and claim that the Earth is a globe. I want you to actually search the archives, talk to your chat GPTs and whatever AI program you got, phone a friend, I don't care, call your professor and see what you guys can come up with collectively and present forward and say, this is the answer. This is how you measure the curve. This is how we understand. Everybody knows it's a globe.
Yeah, because so many people, sorry.
Go ahead, Bug.
No, it's just like so many people come in here and they want to say so definitively that the Earth is a globe. And like that claim takes a lot to get there. What I'm interested in is knowing how deep the Earth goes. If it's a disk, is it cylindrical? How deep is it? Does it get, tapered off on the sides? If I dig too far deep, does the ether come back in? Like, these are real hardline questions. Is ether flammable? Can we use it as a new alternative fuel? Maybe they don't want us in our Antarctica because it's thin enough our footsteps will break us off the edge. Who knows?
Okay,
but we're never going to know until we're there.
Anyway.
Yeah, stop trolling, bro. Like, seriously. Cut it out.
The only reason I let it go is because Bug said something that was kind of in line with everything I was saying. So, but, easy come, easy go. All right, so anybody in here able to
wait? No, so back to the original point, right?
What?
No, I want to address what Bug said for a second. Nobody thinks the Earth is a disk or a cylinder or is floating around in space. We don't think there is an outer space vacuum. We don't think the Earth is a fucking object within it. Okay? So the flat Earth you just made up in your head, we don't believe in either.
But isn't that what AV was saying? Was that Earth is like an object embedded in space?
When?
Like less than 5 minutes ago.
And how did he? Where'd you get the? Can you quote what he said?
Earth is an object embedded in space, and then Bug was like, "Yeah, so embedded like between two sheets."
I've been listening to AV talk for 8 years, and I've never heard him say anything even remotely resembling that.
It just happened. What are you talking about?
Just go on mute, dude.
You guys are hitting that pipe tonight.
But I know, dude. He's freaking wolf.
Hey, AV, weren't you asking the guy if he thought it was?
Yeah, I was.
Yeah,
I was
very different, right?
Okay, so who is going to have a coherent fucking thought? Eeny, meeny, miny, mo. Pick a tiger. Catch a tiger by his tail. How about Bug? We'll try Bug again.
Okay, wait. Okay, cool.
Yeah, Bug. Just to clear. Whatever you've seen on the internet of what flat earthers think, just assume it's fucking wrong. Okay.
No,
we'll tell you what we think. You just ask us. Okay. We don't think the Earth is a space disk.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, like, and I'm gonna preface this. I'm coming in genuinely, and I'm not trolling. One of the things that, like, and I'm gonna take it from this perspective.
We're not speculators here, is what I'm trying to tell you. You're like speculating about does the ether this that. We don't speculate. We don't
no.
only completely what's empirical can be tested, demonstrated, and known, not believed.
Right. And that's the thing. That's where I got dunked on, because I came in and I was like, oh, well, I know what a star is. and then talked about pulsars, because there is those consistent radio signals that come from out above near the constellations and stars and things like that. And for me to go, oh, well, obviously it's a pulsar. I think the problem is that when I had made that argument,
Doug, you're land-based it with
that's
nothing
just
but
a name,
space
right?
lore.
Saying, hey, we stuck our radio telescope, we picked up a bunch of radio waves coming from that dot in the sky, and we named it pulsar. That's just a name.
No, but that's what I'm saying is the reason why I got dunked on was because I walked in and I said, I know what stars are, I know what pulsars are. Here's what they are. There's a blinking dot in the sky in radar. But what I didn't do is the understanding and root cause of what that actually might be, what the observations are, what we can actually detect. So, like, I'm learning how
but
to.
I mean, we're not. What's moving the needle here in this conversation that we have here is not more space lore. We're looking for people that can advocate for positions that say that the Earth is a globe with measurements done. You can talk about all kinds of space fantasy ideas. That's not going to help this conversation. Like, everybody here, the people that are listening, they want to know how you guys who believe the Earth is a globe can actually lay down a foundation for it being the thing they think it is. It doesn't help to talk about things that are not the Earth.
Am I putting the chicken before the egg?
No, you're not even talking about a chicken. You're talking about a rooster or like a snake or something. Like
okay. Yeah, space lore.
Bug, the reason, just listen for a second. The reason we don't concern ourselves with that, because no matter what theory, people have been making up stories about the stars for fucking since man first gazed at them, right? None of them, including the stories we tell each other now, can ever be actually verified. No one's going to a fucking quasar to check it out.
Jesus.
Do we actually believe space isn't real?
Oh, no, dude. Like, I mean, they're giving us a story about the cosmological paradigm, Dot.
The question is, are we being sold?
All of that, Bug, hold on a second. What in all of that can you know that they're saying about the space idea? Anything. You tell me one thing that you can say.
I was late to the conversation. I was just told on what was being talked about.
No, I meant, like, if they're Bug or whoever else talks about space, doesn't matter who it is. How can you test and verify what she's saying is true? How can anybody? Like, nobody can check any of this stuff out, man. So why are we talking about things that we cannot verify? That's what I don't understand.
Right. You as a person cannot verify because you don't have the materials. What do you mean?
Nobody can, because nobody can go to a star and verify. Bro, can NASA go to a star? Doc, can NASA go to a star?
Well, technically, no.
Okay, so they can never verify it.
What are we talking about?
Right, they're looking at light, saying it has this composition, this age, it's going this fast, it's this far away. They can never actually verify any of that. All that's theory-laden mumbo-jumbo.
Yep, and you guys are just finding a fancier way to kind of talk about that in this chat room where it doesn't belong. We're not going to sit here and believe with you guys. It's just not going to do it.
What are y'all's opinions on like satellites and rovers going to Mars? I mean, what are your opinions on what those were?
Fuck, dude, you guys are space cadets, man.
Listen, I mean, yeah, I know. I do want to answer because it sounds like you're coming from a genuine place. It doesn't sound like you're trolling when you said that. So, most of that.
I am curious.
Yeah, most of that stuff is given to you as a topical knowledge that you have. And if some people are in, satellite and rocket enthusiasts, and you know a little bit of that sci-fi lore that comes with it, but there's nothing there's nothing in what you know about that you can tell me that it is for sure what you think it is. Like, put it to the test, right? Satellites. You believe that they're being launched on vehicles that are taking them up to low Earth orbit and releasing them. The payloads, being released in the lower thermosphere, in a decaying orbit around the Earth, being a globe and orbiting the Earth at 45 minutes, 90 minutes, whatever the case, right? You got Starlink and whatever else you got going on. All this stuff you think is happening. If you were to tell me in detail how it works, that's great. How do you know that those things are up in the place they say that they are? Logistically, how would you be able to verify that?
again, that's where I got spanked for the pulsars.
Let me tell the guy real quick, because he's the one asking the question. So, bread and circuses. How would you be able to tell me any of that story is true about satellites? Things that you think is probably the case, right?
I probably wouldn't be able to, but if I'm not able to explain it, does that mean that it's not occurring?
No. I'm not saying just because you can't explain it. There's something you're being told about them, right? And you have a conscious decision to make whether you're going to accept what they're saying or reject it. You have a choice. You can say, I don't buy it, or yeah, whatever. I got better things to do. I got to go to work tomorrow, so I don't really care. Yeah, whatever.
You can say I don't know.
You can accept it. Oh yeah, you can, yes. But the point is though, like you at the end of the day, it's never going to be like, oh, I know for sure. No one can say that. So how they work or whatever operation they're doing, it's maybe happening on some level, but not. You can't verify what it is. Even if it's in a decaying orbit that's circling the Earth as a globe every 90 minutes or something like they say the ISS is at 17,500 miles per hour. Like, dude, is there any way that you can verify that? No. So you're accepting that as something to be true based on other knowledge that you've laid a foundation for, the Earth being a globe. You've been told ever since you were very young. So have I, so has everybody else in here. Just you grew up with this knowledge, believing it. What else can I tell you, man? Like all of us grew up that way. But they didn't give us a method in which we could verify any of this information. So we're just going along with it just because how are we going to challenge it? And then there's the
because
appeal
it makes sense.
Dot, listen to me.
Well, of course it makes sense. You don't know anything else.
It sounds like AV is talking about we need to develop a healthier skepticism of things that we are just told occur.
That's it. Like, I just want to leave it there. Listen, I don't even care if you walk away from here and you're like, oh, dude, I'm a flat earther now. I don't care about that. I don't. So if you're not questioning things, at least being curious about it and finding like, hey, well, how do we know stuff is happening? That's it. Like, dude, honestly, if you walk away from here like that, that's it.
And I also feel that that's a good position to have, but I don't think that's the majority opinion everybody in here has. I think everybody here is a flat earther.
Have they earned the right to be auto-believed on all their claims? Have they earned that right?
I don't think they should be auto-believed, but I think there's a lot of good merit. Like, the whole concept of black body radiation.
Well, you already admitted that you're just in love with that shit, so you're biased.
No, there are people
no. But like, they're on. Like, even if I'm not going as far, there's a lot of ways I can walk up to even 100th of the information. Like, if you have an anvil and a hammer and a nail, you can make a nail glow red hot just by hitting it and causing the friction and the energy in the system. That's what you get called black body radiation. Black body radiation is something they talk about, and really, maybe the skepticism is going to be able to like really protect a lot of what might be out there, but it's not that they're coming out of it with nothing. They're not coming from an angle of spirituality or something like that. They're coming with a pure metaphysical physics aspect to it, where the sun is made out of a material that you could find similar to a candle. It's made out of the same kind of stuff you would find in the air at Earth, just in different concentrations and volumes, and that the reason why it's congregated seems to be that their explanation is mass, which does have a lot of weight in a lot of different things. And but the big aspect of gravity is something that you're going to contest.
Any of the words that you use to describe the very thing that you're speaking of, there's also not anything that you could probably parse out in your own mind and find out what the meaning of the words are. So I mean, like certain specific words that actually detail what the thing that you just spoke of, like the term mass. I
can teach a class on it, man. I taught it in college.
No kidding. Are you a professor?
What did you teach?
No. I mean, I was a TA, right? Don't give me too much credit, but there's a lot we can really do to discover. Okay, like, so even not to combat it, but even to like think about what they're saying and even do smaller experiments at a small scale to understand it. God forbid, we're almost doing fusion.
Okay, so like if you're going to teach your students about mass, being something like what is mass? How do we understand what it is?
Well, they found the Higgs boson, but that came from a big magnet ring in the ground that claims they found the big Higgs boson, right?
But did you answer my question? What is mass?
No. Mass is. Let me actually get the definition.
Go ahead.
I want to play by the rules. What is mass?
The rules?
Mass is described as the measure of the amount of matter in an object and is also the measure of its resistance to acceleration, known as inertia.
Oh. Which is it? Which is it?
Who gave you the amount of matter in an object?
Yeah, has that ever happened? From?
Well, you can find it in, like, what we do is in a lot of objects.
I'm just asking what your source
like molarity density.
The source of that definition, that's what I'm asking you. That definition was shot down forever
Was that
ago.
Merriam-Webster? What is the
off Wikipedia, it says it's an intrinsic, which is already going to be a problem in this conversation.
Freaking property. Wikipedia, dude. Like, okay.
Is that your alma mater?
What? By the way, what is the definition?
No, every definition.
We can get into bosons.
Mass is not the quantity of matter. It's never hasn't been for fucking 100+ years.
Bosons are awesome. Like,
oh yeah.
But are those just made up though?
Bosons,
dude, like
the word?
Oh my god.
Boson is just a category.
Like subatomic particles.
Yeah, boson's a category. A category of subatomic particles. So what?
And when combined, they exhibit things like matter.
Okay, that's a cool story. Okay.
Yeah, but like we can do it though. If you have enough laser, you can literally produce more of these by trying to rip apart the gluons.
You think it's really that simple?
I mean, we have like neutrino detectors, and when we get
Jesus
extra
Christ,
of them,
you really want to go there, bro?
Like, I mean, there's really a lot to talk about.
Look, okay, you don't know anything you're talking about. I can already tell. Okay, so
I wouldn't
you
say
think that because you're oversimplifying everything. It's way more complex than the way you're making it out. Okay, neutrino detection is an inference based upon fucking 2 other interactions. Okay. The Higgs boson is a statistical fucking anomaly. Okay, they get a lot of data, right, from smashing the protons together. And then when they get some reading, they go, "Hey, is this random chance or is this a Higgs boson?" And then they apply a bunch of statistical analysis and go, "Oh, we detected a Higgs boson because the probability of it not being a Higgs boson is this." Okay, they're not doing these direct detections that you think about. They just detected a Higgs boson. They just detect a fucking neutrino. Where does a neutrino even come from? Where's it come from?
Oh, I can explain that. Let me go pull it up.
No, where does it come from? The particle itself, is it inside the nucleus? You're never going to find the answer because this was a problem when, neutrinos were started as a joke. Did you know that? In a letter by Wolfgang Pauli,
even if they're a theoretical particle, we're trying to explain how the world works, and we're getting closer day by day.
No, God, standard model is not a description. There's not an explanation. It's a description. Okay, it's just a fucking model. Okay, that's all models are. They describe things. The neutrino, there was extra energy. Where did it come from? Well, Wolfgang Pauli joked, we'll just make up something called a neutrino. Oh, and lo and behold, they just happened to find it. But no one could say where it comes from. Where was it? Was it in the nucleus? Was it inside of a quark? Where was it before?
It was an emission.
It's an emission. Well, it's a particle.
Yeah.
It has a non-zero mass.
Yeah. And it does not move faster than light.
Yeah, really? Fantastic. Where did it come from? It's not electromagnetic radiation. It doesn't have charge.
Well, it's because it's neutral.
Yeah. Where does it come from?
It's an emission. It comes.
It's made. An emission of what?
Let me see. There's a couple. Let me see.
Yeah, let me see, dude. Fucking go Google later, dude.
No, like I'm trying to be. I'm not trying to pull it out of my ass or from my
You
just knowledge.
You actually no. See, this is the thing. Like we often encounter a lot of these concepts, these physics concepts, are actually controversial, right? But they're not controversial in the newspaper. And they're not controversial in the textbook. But fundamentally, their foundation is controversial. QED, quantum electrodynamics, that's super controversial. It was fucking came about by fraud. In fact, Freeman Dyson, who's a well-known physicist, went to astronomy because of the fuckery that they were doing. He quit. He quit physics because of the fuckery they were doing in QED.
That's crazy. Let's see.
Yeah, because it's do you know what the G variable is?
Gravity.
The G factor, the Gamow precession of the electron.
Let's see.
Ugh, no, forget it, dude. If you don't already know what it is like I'm not getting into it. So this G, all QED is built on this G number, and if that number's wrong, it's all wrong. Okay, they keep fudging this number over and over again. They have to calculate. They calculate it, and then they do an experiment. Oh my God, it matches the calculation, and then they freaking someone else calculates another polynomial, right? The fourth polynomial. Oh shit!
Yeah,
because
we got 3 neutrinos.
Oh my God, we discovered that. Well, that's the new measurement.
Just make a new flavor.
You understand that like they keep like it's a 20 order fucking polynomial, but they've only calculated like out to 6, but at the time they calculated to 4, and the experiments matched to 4, and then someone else did a new calculation out to 5, and it didn't match that. So lo and behold, someone did an experiment, and boom, it matched that one. But then it found out the person that did the calculation was collaborating with the person that did the experiment behind everyone's back, and had to fucking admit it. So there's just been fuckery the entire time.
Yeah, but we got pretty close. We're figuring a lot out.
Oh my God, dude.
Let me see.
Are you like an apologist for scientific fraud?
Well, Buck has
no,
just
believe me, I'm not.
Up.
I'm not.
Isn't it true that you're just looking everything up as the moment?
Well, I've been listening.
Like,
hold on. I haven't been fighting the argument. I'm actually just listening.
I'm not saying you're fighting it. I'm just saying you're looking it up the moment you start.
These are historical facts.
Well, I'm listening. I'm literally ingesting, and I'm not speaking from what I think I know, but I'm listening and self-educating.
Yeah, but you do sound very confident. Like when he's talking to you, you sound very confident. You know that it's the case. And you're saying, yeah, of course, this has already been done. We're doing this, and you're like, oh, let me check it out. Like the moment that you finish saying that.
Actually, a written paper about the QED fraud. I think it's by Shama.
Wouldn't you want everyone to be open to learning?
Yeah.
I don't
like I'm telling you what I'm told,
aren't you intellectually
and then I'm
honest
learning
to say,
about it.
Yeah, Bug, aren't you intellectually honest to say that you don't know if what you're saying is true or not? Like you're just automatically affirming that it's true. We've discovered that. We've already covered that. And he's like, it sounds to me like that's coming from a place that you don't know, and it's okay to say you don't know. Like I don't know what's wrong with that.
To be clear, I haven't made claims. I've explained. I went out of my way to say I'm gonna go Google that to see what they say. I am listening attentively and searching up what you are responding with, and I'm taking that information and I'm learning from it. I'm not telling you a pulsar is a pulsar. I'm not telling you a radon is a radon or whatever. Okay. I'm just listening.
Okay. So our position is, does the evidence match the claim? Are there alternative interpretations to whatever data they collected to say the pulsar is doing this or doing that? Because lately I've been hearing about new radio fucking pulsar does something totally unexpected. You know, I've been hearing that for like 2 decades. This freaking pulsar freaking disappeared. This pulsar did this. Stars disappear. Stars reappear. Like, did you know there's a paper that came out just like a couple days ago that said they went over photographic plates from the Palomar telescope from 1942 to 1957 before any satellites were ever launched, and they found satellites, artificial satellites, in their telescope plates, in their photographs of the stars, before there was man-made satellites. So what we concern ourselves with is what is the empirical evidence. We don't give a shit about the story. The story, like anybody can make up any story to any fucking goddamn data set. We only care about what the data says. And we also differentiate between what is directly measured and what is indirectly measured. Meaning, what are you inferring it or are you deducing it? That's a very important distinction, because people also say scientific proof and all shit like that. Well, science only proves things if the test is deductively structured. If it's inductively structured, it doesn't prove anything. And you know, sometimes they'll use abductive logic where it's like, the best explanation based upon the available evidence, whatever that means. That's totally subjective bullshit. So we're trying to figure out what we can actually know for certain versus what we can believe. And a lot of people think they know for certain that the Earth is a ball. And we're here, and we do this all day, every day, to demonstrate that, no, you actually don't know that. Your brother don't know that. Your teacher don't know that. The guy down the street don't know that. The random dude working at NASA don't know that. Okay, we have a satellite engineer, a satellite dude that works for the Amazon Space Services. He don't even know that. He goes into work. He does his fucking job. He sells freaking Amazon satellite services. But does he have any freaking primary knowledge that there's a satellite in space? Nope. He thinks there is. He has no reason to doubt it, but he doesn't know. So, AV, you want to take over?
Now, what is it?
Maybe you
can't look at.
Yeah.
You can't take any.
Huh? What? I heard you, AV. What's that other dude saying?
Do you think an entire generation was sold a lie of a sci-fi story about space and everything just to, like, confirm a pile of lies or something? Like, I think that's crazy. Like, I'm feeling it. I'm getting it.
Well, at least, and most of these things, because you came in here, I remember that when you first started being in this room, you're full of a lot of beliefs, and your position was pretty staunch. So,
well,
I don't know where you're at now, but
because here's the thing: what happened? I was sold possibly a pile of lies, because there's two interpretations. If you come in with childlike innocence, oh, the sun's going to explode in 5 billion years, and you have your depressive episode like every child does, or space is infinite, and you could go out there and you could go find all these asteroids and rocks and planets and whatever. Maybe they're selling a bunk story, but also
they could also just believe it, Bug. They could also just believe it like you, though, and they're not lying to you. It's just like a collective delusion.
Yeah, but like the thing is that
where everybody believes it because they think everybody else believes it.
I think it's not that hard. If we just...
What do you mean?
Like, if we got out there, we'd know.
Okay, so if we could do something that, in your mind, is like leaving the system or going somewhere to see the beyond, then we'd know the truth?
Yeah.
Okay, so that right there is the flaw in your logic.
Okay.
Because you don't realize that you can know right now where you're at. That's your problem. You've lost like the.
I don't know where I'm at.
You've lost it. Well, that's the thing. You lost the curiosity to realize that the power is actually within your grasp to find things out. So you're not curious enough to say, I could probably figure it out if I had the means to here on Earth. If somebody told me, well, what can I do?
Yeah.
So.
I just gene edit humans, so like my plate's kind of full.
Well, I mean, you're in here now, so you're obviously curious because you're having the conversation. So I don't know how full that plate can be if you really want to know more.
Well, like, y'all know Astro Sentinel? Is he on here often?
Nah, that name sounded kind of familiar. I don't know.
Well, yeah, no, he's a flat earther, and he talks a lot about propulsion systems. And he and I got into a very big argument. And bear with me. Like, the thing that pissed me off was a fundamental misunderstanding of physics. If we were in, let's say, an Olympic-sized swimming pool of a falling object to mitigate the force of gravity, and it is a vacuum in that object, just for the sake of the argument, right? His point was that you could not propel an object by ejecting matter. You have to do it by providing a pressure differential to push the object forward. The other argument was to eject mass or matter or something out the other end. Yeah, exactly. Like India, like, oh no, that's a king. And the other idea, the NASA model, is to eject matter to propel it forward for the equal and opposite response. And I got really skeptical of your argument because I had met an individual who could not argue all sorts of stuff. Well, no, not even Yoder, because it doesn't matter about the expansion. Like, if I throw the softball, does that propel me? If I hurl matter.
I get the but I get the
where do we even
argument.
begin to like decompile what they say?
But do you the presupposition of the vacuum of space would have to be in some way proposed to be an environment that you could actually travel to and test and verify, or at least some way find out that it's the case?
Yeah.
Like, you can't have a position that you're saying that up there is like a certain environment.
No. But how do we get
everything,
there? Like,
everything that you're saying that works within that environment, like what you're talking about right now, would work in a specific way that you're describing it works, right? Okay,
but
so how
would we get up to space? What's limiting us?
Well, that's one thing, right? How do you get up there? But then there's the whole other argument of how things work up there in that place where they are, right? So you're trying to work within like it's already a derivative argument. You're saying, okay, so let's just say space is what they're saying it is. It's a vacuum of space with whatever pressure value they say to be up there. Based on that, this is how this would work with physics, right? And so you're arguing with him about that point, with that derivative topic. What I'm saying is, you don't even know that if you reverse back a little bit, how do you know that environment is that? Whatever it's claimed to be.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, that's the point. Like, you guys were arguing
how do we get up
something
there? How do we test
derivative.
it? How do we go observe
wouldn't
it?
Wouldn't you think that would be the issue?
If I were you, I would say I want to go figure it out for real. How do we do that?
No. We're not. It's not about figuring it out. The point is, people are arguing about it right now in this call. There's going to be arguments about it. You've had an argument with that other guy about it. You know, the guy you were telling us about. So how do you know that argument can be had if you don't even know if the premise of the argument can be verified to be true?
Oh, we could verify it by going there. So what's holding us back?
That's a great story. But can you do something to test and verify the claim to
if
say,
we get there, how do we get there? What's stopping us from getting there to test it?
What I'm saying is how can you make a statement that this is how this would work in this environment if you can't even figure out if that environment even exists you think it does?
The entire, like, again, I'm going to go back to the thing I said. Was I sold a big sci-fi story about this vacuum in space and stars, and then they explained it all and made it all work out in some way that what we're observing fits that bill, right?
Really, does it?
My question is, how do we go out there and figure it out? If I launch a rocket, like a model rocket, up there, however far it is, endlessly even, what do I need to do that? What do I need to throw a human up there or a camera? Or is it impossible? Do I hit a barrier?
Run up real quick, AB, that this like Bug might not realize. It's not just you that stole this story. This space story was started in 300 BC before there was any evidence for it. So Democritus and Epicurus started this idea way back when there was no evidence for it. Science fiction started in 100 AD with the story written by I think it's Tacitus. It's called A True Story, where the people of the moon fight the people of the sun. Okay?
Yeah.
So this idea is more than just now.
Yeah,
not
but
just you.
Had that
information.
Model.
Yeah, the information was invented, is what he's saying. It wasn't discovered.
That's what I'm asking.
It wasn't
invented in minds of men.
Bug. It wasn't a discovery. It was an invention. People made it up and then played it out. Not only that, but the atom and other things that Democritus came up with, and they had their school of people that they followed them. But then it went forward into people that were considered to be great thinkers. But it wasn't something they discovered, though. Here's that's the big part of this whole thing that you guys are just glossing over that. Like, what is the historical context of how we know this stuff was even, where did we derive it from? Where did it come from?
Geocentric models. Or even the Norse structure.
Can I ask
all of this stuff was just.
Maybe can I ask you something? Can I ask you something?
Yeah.
Like, do you understand? Like, do you know what like a hypothesis is?
What is?
Do you know that? Like a hypothesis?
Yeah, hypothesis. Yeah, what?
Or like a theory.
It's not a theory.
Yeah, I'm asking.
It's predicting the results of an experiment. That's what a hypothesis is. Your predicted results of an experiment.
There's something that is being predicted by an experiment.
Yeah, the predicted results of the experiment is your hypothesis. If I do X, then Y happens. That's a hypothesis.
You're predicting something, and then if you do the experiment, then it might happen. It doesn't happen. Whatever it is. I'm just asking, like, AV or actually any of you, if something has been predicted like 2,000 years ago, it's a hypothesis.
It wasn't really a prediction. They didn't have ideas about hypothesis back then. It was a metaphysical statement. They were doing metaphysics, not physics.
Well, like even something
but
like
it doesn't really matter because
it was imagination. Is an imagination? If I imagine a reality, is that a hypothesis?
Yeah, if you imagine anything, it can be a hypothesis.
I imagine a cogent argument. That's my hypothesis, and I'm predicting it'll never fucking happen.
Wait. How do you guys explain meteorites? Like, I'm not being facetious.
Yeah, they're just a phenomenon in the sky that happens, man. Like,
but where did it come from?
How the fuck?
Can anybody answer that question?
Like
these questions of phenomena that occur that it seems to be like there really isn't a way that you can define an explanation for them. Like how can you state?
No. Hold on. The meteorite literally just blew a hole through everything I was working up to. Like, I was literally the gears were clicking over, and then I went, where the fuck do meteorites come from? Because they have no interaction or even comets are cold until they get near the sun. Meteorites don't burn until they hit the atmosphere, which shows the gradient differential. Some flat earthers believe it's a dome. Not saying you do, but like that just blows a hole through a lot of the argument.
Look, that's a nice story. How do you know any of that is true? Any of it?
What?
Yeah,
what do you mean, what is the evidence for what you're saying, dude? Or whatever.
We have so many cameras that like record that shit.
Okay,
they wiped out the dinosaurs.
But you added a whole bunch of other stuff than seeing a meteor. Okay, you added. Hey, it's burning up because of the temperature gradient, and the comet has a tail because it's getting closer to the sun. They aren't observing it getting closer to the sun.
But
from Earth, you can't tell the relative, like where everything is relative to where the sun is. We can only tell where it is relative to we are to a degree.
That's crazy. Hold on. I'm cured again. That's awesome.
What the fuck?
Like it's just.
We're looking from our perspective. You gotta remember, we're on Earth.
Yeah,
but we gotta go somewhere.
Completely different.
Like we can categorize what they're made out of because they are a physical object that reaches Earth's surface, and we can backdate where it came from, how it happened, all that kind of stuff. That's incredible. That just blew a whole thing through it. Like even further, anyone with
how do we date them? Using what? You still haven't said how you know anything
dating?
You're saying.
Anything like that?
Carbon dating?
Let me take a look.
Oh God, dude.
Let me put.
Craters don't come from rocks from space.
Yeah, let me post something. By the way, hold on, guys. Like Bug. Did you know that there was many different ways that the mainstream is classifying these things and like phenomena in the sky? I'm gonna post something to you. Can you just look at what I just posted real quick?
Yeah.
Yeah. I see the acting of the Earth. I'm with you. I'm with you that it could be an alternate explanation.
No, I'm showing like the different names of the things that you're describing, what you said, the phenomena in the sky, what you're looking at, what it is. Do you see the different names that are attached to like what it looks like to be like rocks in outer space, like next to that globe? You see the names beside those? Comet, asteroid, meteor, meteoroid, meteor, fireball, meteorite. Hello?
Hey man, how's that?
Gone.
What does that mean to the flat Earth mind?
Bug balls it after the meteor. That's
yeah.
funny.
Look, it's
yeah. Why did you say your phone uses satellites?
Again, what?
Why did you say phones use satellites?
I didn't say that.
Yeah, didn't you just say your phone? Said we have satellites. That's how our phones work.
Satellite phones use satellite. GPS
the
uses
word
satellite.
phone, probably, but I didn't say phone.
How do you know any of that?
How do I know any of that?
Yeah.
There is such a thing called a satellite phone.
Yeah. And what's the difference between a satellite phone and a cell phone? Actually,
what's the difference between a satellite phone and a telephone?
Hold on, in the actual device, what's the difference?
That one is able to contact a satellite, and the other one, well, I guess they can both contact a satellite, right? Because it uses GPS.
They use GPS to call. They call GPS satellites. Is that what you're saying?
What does GPS stand for?
GPS. What does GPS stand for?
Yes.
Well, it's either global positioning system or ground positioning system.
Right.
Yeah,
so
but no one's making phone calls on them.
No, nobody's making, but there are satellite phones that actually communicate directly with Starlink. In the modern sense, communicate with Starlink, or they're used.
Why do they need to do that?
Because a lot of places don't have stars. Because there's no cell towers. Why don't they have?
Because there's no cell towers.
Yeah, because there's no cell towers, so they have to.
Why can't they talk to a cell tower?
Because they're too far away, so they have to use.
Because there's a ball in the way.
No.
There's not a curve of the Earth is in the way. That's not in the way.
No, it's probably just like too far out.
Power, right? It might be the power. The power output. That's the difference between a satellite phone and a cell phone. Satellite phones have giant fucking batteries and huge power output. Cell phones are in the milliwatts.
Yeah.
Yeah. So when you're transmitting watts versus milliwatts, you can transmit a lot farther.
Okay.
There's other factors other than there's a ball in the way. We got to talk to a satellite because we've known since the 1918 at least that radio signals will go 10,000 miles.
They
Did you know
bounce
that,
off the ionosphere. Yeah, they bounce off the ionosphere for that.
They didn't know about the ionosphere at that time.
Oh, wow.
The ionosphere is an ad hoc, after the fact invention.
No, so they don't have to know about something to know it works. Just like they didn't have to know about bacteria.
Yeah, it was invented after.
What do you mean it was invented? What do you mean it was
invented as a concept? Pardon me?
Everything is invented as a concept, right? So bacteria was invented as a concept before they knew what hand washing was, right? But they knew, but certain cultures, like in East Asia, they've found that prevention of disease was caused by hand washing. So they did it. They didn't know why, but they knew if they washed their hands, they wouldn't get sick. They were very clean. They didn't get sick very often.
Okay, so there's nothing to do with this, but we're talking about the ionosphere. They needed a reason that radio waves could travel that far, and they invented the ionosphere. Specifically, Heaviside and who was the other fucking guy? It's not Helmholtz. Heaviside and I forgot what his name is. It's called the Heaviside layer. That was the name of it. They invented it ex post facto because they needed a reason. Well, Heaviside didn't have anything to send up into this ionosphere. There was no rockets. There was no balloons that went that high. They were like, how would they know about it?
Because of radio, or because of energy, right? Because of it protects us from UV rays, right?
No, that would be the what is it? Is that the ionosphere? Ozone. That's the ozone layer.
Yeah, you're right. But the ionosphere is what protects us from sun flare, like the radio waves from sun flares, right? So
That's
like when sun
the
flares,
magnetosphere.
Magneto.
The magnetosphere, yes. Yeah, there's a bunch of spheres: exosphere, troposphere, ionosphere, stratosphere, magnetosphere,
thermosphere.
Thermosphere. Yeah, I almost forgot that one.
How you know that though?
Atmosphere.
I don't know any of that crap. That's just a story they tell. So the thing about the ionosphere is, even we get long distance radio wave propagations and wavelengths that they say don't have in the ionosphere. And the ionosphere has some pretty unique properties that's never really been observed in nature that they have to say exist to even remotely make it work, such as negative indexes of refraction.
It has been observed in nature.
Negative indexes of refraction.
So I'm telling you that the ionosphere
means
has
power amplification, right?
No, I did not know that. But I'm telling you that it has been observed in nature because that's literally what ball lightning is. That's plasma. Ball lightning is. Yeah, ball lightning
is. Just like freaking potpourri me, dude. Like, yes, plasma exists. Whether plasma has a negative index of refraction, that's another story.
No. So I'm not saying that because I don't know that to be true. But ball lightning is.
In the deck. Yeah, I know what it is. I read about
it. Right. No. I know you know what it is. I'm saying that it is plasma contained by negatively charged air, essentially.
Okay.
Because it is gas contained within plasma contained within a independent sphere of charged gas. That's what it is.
Okay. Nobody really knows what ball lightning is. It's speculative on what it is. It's only been observed like two or three times, and it's only been documented to be observed 2 times that I know of. And the whole time I was growing up, they said it was a fucking a rumor that didn't really exist.
Right. Well, it's not only just ball lightning. It's St. Elmo's fire. It's other like phenomena that have to do with that they, again, yes, they did think it was fake, but it has been proven to be true. And the existence of it is based on plasma that is encased in ionized air, sort of like the thermosphere. So it's like, the ionosphere. So it's like a local representation or demonstration of how gas can be contained within using only negatively charged air, essentially, ionized air.
From what I know, the cause of ball lightning is still speculative.
Well, the cause of it, yeah, but like that's the mechanism behind it.
Well, all they have so far is videos of a freaking bright blue fucking ball. That's all they have. How would they know what it's composed of? How would they know that, Alice? They've never replicated it in a lab.
I would have to look that up. I'm not going to say for sure if they have or haven't.
I know they've been trying for fucking 5 decades. I mean, ball lightning is a bad example. The ionosphere is supposed to be a freaking layer of highly energized particles that get trapped in the Earth's magnetic field when they're ejected from the sun, right? So it's a bunch of freaking ionized particles.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's it. Okay. And the reason why we have
story. That's the story, and it also moves around, right? So, did you know that on the day side versus the night side, it has different altitudes?
Different altitude? No, I don't know about this.
Yeah, so there's different layers. There's like A, B, there's D, E, and F or something. So on the daytime side, you're only supposed to be able to get to the lower layer. So propagation distances like skywave propagation or tropospheric scattering only go like 800 miles, according to the theory, right, of the ionosphere, and that the long distance shortwave propagation happens. It's thousands of miles, but it only happens at night. I used shortwave radio when I was a kid. My father had one, we used to listen to shit in Russian, shit in Spanish, shit in Japanese. So you could pick up all sorts of radio signals, but they only last for like, I don't know, 5 or 6 minutes before they static out. That being what it may, the propagation I'm talking about, the Marconi propagation in 1918, happened during the day. It didn't happen at night. So it doesn't match the ionospheric theory in the first place.
When you send radio waves, when you send radio waves, what direction do you usually point the transmitter?
Well, they were using what's called back then. They didn't make like dipole antennas. They basically had like a wire grid, and it was an omnidirectional antenna.
Yeah, it's exactly an omnidirectional antenna, which is pointing in.
But it was like
at
a football
Marconi's
field or something in size, so it was just like steel wires that crisscrossed.
If you look at Marconi's example, he says specifically that it pointed up at like a 45-degree angle or something like that.
Well, it depends on which Marconi example you're talking about. There was a couple of them. So there was the one across the Atlantic. I'm talking about the one to Australia.
Yeah. So
a lot of people don't know about. Platter just posted in the chat. There's a plaque to the guy. Now that guy, just to let you know, this guy was an amateur radio operator that turned on his radio and heard people talking in German, and was like, "What the fuck?" Okay, this is when radio is brand new. It's 1918. So he goes to the government and says, "Hey, I can hear people talking in German." Back then, Australia was a British colony, so they contacted their superiors, and Britain, and they decided, "Hey, it's World War I. Maybe we should make a communication method so we can talk to each other, in case we need to send us more troops to be killed on the frickin' trenches of Germany or Belgium or wherever the fuck they were." So, and that's what they did. But they made these radio transmissions. You know that this is almost an antipode distance, right? It's like 10,000 miles. Half the globe is like 12,000, right? So this is like an antipode. This is like a North Pole to South Pole transmission.
Mm-hmm. You don't even believe in North Pole or South Pole.
You're right. It's called an internal critique, dude.
Dude, you're not a flat earther.
Stop being a child.
Oh,
it's called an internal critique.
Right, yeah, and I understand that, but wait, what is the actual distance then? If it's
the globe distance from Cornwall, UK to Sydney, Australia is roughly 10,000, like 196 or something.
What's the real distance then?
That is the real distance.
I know. How would you know that?
Dude,
no, I'm asking you.
Come on, stop it.
Yeah, how would you know that's the real distance?
You know, people have been on airplanes before and they travel.
Yeah, that's right. And they're flying in a fluid. So I'm going to ask you again, how do you know that's the real distance?
Again, I just said, do you know people have been on airplanes?
Yeah, before? I know. And I just said, hey, dude, they're flying in a fluid. That makes distance measurement fucking impossible.
What?
Okay.
They're flying in an airplane.
Why?
Because they're flying in a fluid. What don't you get, dude?
So is it the flying
fluid's in motion?
Or is it the fluid itself?
The fluid's in motion.
Right, but if I'm moving in the wind, does that mean I can't measure how long I walked? Is that your argument?
No.
Okay, then what is?
Are you confused?
Yes, very much so.
To clarify. Yes.
Yeah, they're not measuring a distance. Okay, they might be able to infer a distance from time over speed, but that has its problems because speed is measured with a pitot tube, which is a measure of actual air pressure. Okay, then you have other issues. Nobody's flying from Cornwall, UK to fucking Sydney, Australia in the first place. Right? And then there's other factors. Then there's other factors besides just going to straight velocity. Planes don't actually fly in great circle routes. They fly in international traffic flight corridors. Okay, which aren't great circle routes. And
so
you can't get the times vary because for another reason, because of the orientation of the runway and whatever your landing pattern has to be. You could be in the air for fucking 45 minutes, fucking circling a runway. So, no, there is no measured distance. They calculate the distance based upon the Haversine formula. It's calculated, not measured.
You have no way of explaining.
Address something I said. Anything. Don't talk about what I do.
Well, You just said address what you said. I'm trying to address what you said.
Yeah, you talked about me. I'm not the topic.
Well, you brought up the topic. I'm trying to address what you...
I'm not the subject matter, though.
Okay, relax. Like, the fact is, NASA's very clear on this.
The fact is, NASA's very clear on this. Okay, sure. Let's hear this. Start shoveling your shit, dude. This should be funny.
They have multiple pictures to prove. Yes.
Do they?
They do have multiple
And how do you know that?
Because they took it? What do you mean?
You took the picture?
They took it.
How do you know that? How do you know that's what the Earth looks like in that picture?
Well, because I looked at the picture.
Yeah, and compare it to what?
To Earth.
So you've seen the Earth from that vantage point to compare it to that picture?
From the picture.
You're comparing the picture to the picture?
Yeah.
Okay, just go on fucking mute. Just mute yourself, dude.
What picture are you talking about specifically?
Doesn't know.
The blue marble.
Just go on
know.
mute, dude. Just go on fucking mute, dude.
No, the blue marble is a
compared the
Photoshop
picture to the picture. Come on.
That radio signal that went 10,000 miles, supposedly, it would have needed to bounce from air to sky 5 separate times. They say it would need to bounce every 2,000 miles.
Yeah, that's fine. But
which is ridiculous.
I want to be intellectually honest.
It also, hold on. It would also, there's one more thing. It would also flatten because the inner radius and the outer radius are not equal, and then the angle of incidence equals the angle of reflection. So each reflecting angle from the ionosphere versus the surface of the ball would be different angles, and the whole thing would flatten out. And then you'd end up being horizontal and just bounce right back to the fucking ground.
Okay, but I want to be intellectually honest and say that the blue marble is a Photoshop realized image of, because so here's the thing, the blue marble either has to be an image that was stitched together, or it has to be an image that was modified in some way by NASA, because you can't even get that shot from the moon, right? If you look at photos taken from the moon, it is not the blue marble realized, right? It's
look, you guys are whistling past the graveyard. The graveyard is, why the fuck should I believe anything that they say? Especially a fantastic claim. Hey, I went a fucking 100,000 miles from the Earth, took out my Hasselblad 70mm camera, and took a picture of the fucking Earth inside of a goddamn tin can that had fucking aluminum less than 3 millimeters thick. Okay, why the fuck should I believe any of that shit? There's no way to evaluate the image. I have no reference to compare it to. Can't go, hey, yeah, that looks like the Earth I saw. I have no reference. All I can do is compare one fake image to some other fake image. Like that dude said, what'd you compare the image to? Compare the image to the image. And that's all you can ever do. At least he's fucking honest, even though he was trolling. How can we evaluate these images? Can we apply any scientific method analysis to any of these images? People want to talk about science all the time. Okay, what's the scientific method image analysis of these images? There is none. The only thing you can do is, hey, what's depicted in the image, does that exist in reality? Let's go check reality. Let's go check. Shows curving oceans? Let's go check to see if there's curving oceans. Shows the fucking continent that looks like that? Let's go check to see if it looks like that. Let's go see if that's how it actually is. That's all you can do. You either believe it or don't believe it. And the reason this space shit gets brought up 24/7 is because it's unfalsifiable bullshit. And you guys know it. I hate to tell you. They can't be proven real. They can't be proven not real. They're just trusted or not trusted. It's completely a trust proposition. But that's why you guys want to talk about it. Because the reason you guys think the Earth is a ball isn't because of any experiment you've done. isn't because of any test you've done. It's all for fucking sociological reasons. And psychological infirmities, to be honest about it. I mean, we just need, like, what really needs to happen, everybody just needs to start be really fucking honest about the situation. Y'all believe a bunch of shit that you got told by the television, and you believe a bunch of pictures that you can't verify, and we don't. Yeah, Himawari takes pictures of the Earth and it don't even have a camera. How does it do that, rolling my boulder? Rolling my boulder. Go on Himawari's website and look up what their imaging device is. Tell me how they're taking a picture of the Earth without a fucking camera on their satellite.
It's also not live. It's like 3 seconds delayed, I believe.
Regardless of whether it's live or not, there's no camera on it.
There's no camera on it? I gotta test this. Rolling my shoulder.
It has like a fucking spectrograph that has no lens. It uses like a fucking mirror or something.
Okay.
So they construct the image. Now, one of the things about the Himawari on top of that is they won't release the raw data to anybody. In fact, they won't even release the first iteration of the process data, even to scientists. You're going to get secondhand processed, second two-order post-processed data if you're a researcher, and then if you're just a normal dreg, you ain't going to get shit. Never mind all the pre-render shit that was on the FTP. I still got links to it.